Junction Friday night. Listen, boys, I'll steer you right. Crown Vic fleet maintained. Your life will never be the same. Put the family in the back. McGoffin County Cadillac.
That's right, baby. Been keeping the room hot.
All right. See you later.
You don't have to wear a shirt. Haul a bunch of boys to work. Blast the chrome of the spotlight. The doing wrong start doing right. On this road you are the king. 55 don't mean a thing. Once you're in, you can't go back. McGoffin County Cadillac. Headed out of Salyersville, riding like a Coupe de Ville. Prestonsburg to Elkhorn City, beauty's looking awfully pretty. Black Gap, Playtown, Sandy Hook, West Liberty was all it took. Jackson, Stanton, Rabbit Town, Boonville tried to shut us down, wasting time to try to ground me. Meet the king of Estill County. McGoffin County Cadillac. McGoffin County Cadillac. McGoffin County Cadillac.
McGoffin County Cadillac. What is going on, boss? Hell, he's going to play it again.
Where's fucking Vance?
I'm the creepy Kentuckian. Is Uncle Bill froze?
Somebody to throw him out.
Uncle Bill is froze.
Throw some hot water on him.
He is absolutely shocked by the McGoffin County Cadillac.
That's too much for his heart.
Evidently. I don't know. He's... Uncle Bill, that just beats all I've ever seen. Well, let's kick Uncle Bill's ass out of here then.
Yeah, fuck that boy. Go back to Martin.
We got some people waiting in the wings. We're going to go ahead and do some introductions, but this is your Horror Roundtable, Ratman. This is, the Captain's Back Horror Roundtable. I think you were on like the first one or the second one that we did, and you haven't been on one since because you go to bed at like 4 o'clock.
4:30.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got a little bit of a celebrity in here and waiting in the wings. He is Tom Adkins' great-grandson.
Woo!
Now residing in the great state of Tennessee. Ryan Atkins, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Doing good, guys. How y'all?
Oh.
Good. I'm doing good, and loving that shirt you got there. We'll talk about Ryan and I met
Thanks.
up this past weekend.
Oh, what?
Yeah, can you believe that?
You told me he's gonna meet with me.
Well, you're next time. Next time.
I'm second.
Yeah, the El Dorado Desperado
Maybe.
is next, right?
Well, you could be Uncle Bill. You could be third pick.
Yeah. Third chair.
And from a little bit up north, northern West Virginian, right? Phantasmat.
North
what is that?
Virginia.
That's northern West Virginia. Yeah,
Northern West Virginia. That's what I thought.
absolutely.
Welcome, sir. You doing okay tonight?
As good as I can be. How about you guys?
Doing better than Uncle Bill. At least it's his fucking internet this time, not mine.
He didn't seem impressed by that song at all with the look on his face.
He was not selling the song.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a little bit too much for him. It's like a Back to the Future. Right? He'll get it one day. Anthony, let's talk Resident Evil. What is going on tonight, brother? You doing okay?
Doing good, guys. How are you tonight?
Pretty good.
Great.
Cool. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you all. And this is the first roundtable that we've done in a couple of months, and people seem to dig these shows. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about as well, and we're going to get into it. And we've got a ton of people in the chat. X-Ray Punch, Johnny Darko, J7 Flesher, Oh Curly Jaws, Chalupa Cabra, Afro Well Scratch Bueno the Mayor. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys coming out, and appreciate especially Steve staying up way past his bedtime. I sent him a text a little bit earlier, and he was taking a while to respond, and I was like, oh no, he's went to sleep, but he's still up.
What kind of energy drinks you got, Steve? What do you got on deck?
Nah, I can't. I would be up for a few hours, and it would make tomorrow worse. So,
yeah.
I just want to say one thing about this CK guy. Me and you are blood.
That's right. That is right. I know we'll be talking about this. Uncle Bill just sent me a text message. His internet went out.
Oh, I guess I got that going. So you can thank me for that.
The B plan returns, right?
Yeah.
That's a cunt. That's a cunt right there.
Right there. Right there.
Which one of us was he pointing at?
I don't know. It looked
I
like
think
me,
he was just
but-
pointing at all of us.
Yeah.
oh,
He's calling out the
geez.
whole room.
But it's
I don't
especially
know.
Uncle Bill for his shitty internet.
Yeah.
The fact that UB's name was piss adjacent, though, was awesome. I did catch that.
Rob, what is up, man?
Oh, it took me a minute to find the link. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the link for anybody that's interested, it is on Dead Pit on Patreon. We normally have, quite a bit of people in here, which, it's Brady Bunch already almost. So if anybody wants to join us throughout the night, we'll be here for the next 2 hours talking about whatever you guys want to talk about tonight.
Who's that guy with the glasses? It almost looks like Steve, but it's 9 o'clock at night.
Nah, he couldn't be here unless he got off from work for the whole week.
This must be Rad Steve or something.
I just it's eye bags, Steve. I'm covering the eye bags up.
Yeah, he's
Isn't that where Dana does her show?
Dana's
there.
off tonight.
Oh,
Or is she doing a show? That would be interesting. She's doing a show along.
Nah,
with
she was feeling under the weather.
oh no.
Yeah, she did quite long show last night. I think it was like what 4. It was like over 4 hours.
Wow.
It
I
was.
can't do that. So, yeah, guys, we can go ahead and get started. We'll take a look at the chat all night as well. And let us know how we're sounding too, because I can't hear everybody's levels and everything. Make sure everything sounds okay. And we already have some sort of bot in here that wants to offer promotion to our channel.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. All right. So if anybody has anything, it's kind of an open forum for you guys, whatever you want to talk about tonight.
Whoever wants to go.
Nothing.
Anybody see Infinity Pool?
Sorry, it keeps lagging on my end, so
Oh, it's all good.
I'm just kind of
Did anybody get a chance
Waiting to
to
see.
check out Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool?
So I did see that went up on a couple websites. I was gonna try to download it and check it out. Because I saw the previews for it and I wanted to see it in the theater, but it had a short run over here in like the Cinemark that's by me, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But I want to check it out.
Yeah, I checked it out in the theater. I think it played here for a week, like a limited engagement. I'm amazed that it's on streaming already. That it seems like it did Sundance, a week in theater, and then hit streaming.
Yeah, it had a weird release pattern, which a lot of films kind of have nowadays. It's weird.
I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it a lot. I think he's one of those directors that makes me excited that I get to watch his career unfold. Because if he was his dad, you'd be catching up on all of his movies. And I do think 3 movies in. No offense to David Cronenberg, he's one of my favorite directors, but I think his son is a stronger filmmaker. 3 movies in.
You think so already?
I think. Well, I'm not saying, hey, let's not go to I don't know, but if you go to Cronenberg's first 3 films, I think Brandon's first 3 films are stronger than David's first 3 films.
How old was David when he made his first 3 films, though? Brandon is like a little older. I think he's like in his 40s.
He looks like he's 12. He looks really young to me, but
yeah,
I don't actually know how old he is.
I think he's in his 40s, if I'm not mistaken. But welcome, Stuntman Mark. How are you tonight, brother?
Hey, Mark.
I'm good, guys.
Yo.
What's going on with you guys?
We're just talking some horror, but we can talk a little bit about whatever you guys want.
Yeah,
Lots of stuff going on.
I dug Infinity Pool though. It was pretty good. I like how he shot it. Yeah, it was really different. He seems to have an eye for like just the abstract kind of thing. Like all the shots in it were really captivating, and the characters were interesting too. So
these comments, Jesus.
I noticed that he has a short film. I subscribe to Criterion Channel. I don't know if anybody else has that, but he has a short film on there too that's pretty interesting. Called it's something like Speak Constantly and Describe What You See or something like that. That's a pretty trippy movie actually. It has like those elements that you see in like Infinity Pool and Possessor that are more kind of like a artsy student film. This has more of that, if you like that kind of stuff, which I don't know. I like that stuff a lot.
How was Mia Goth in Infinity Pool?
She's looking good.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, especially that scene at the beginning.
If you like Mia Goth, you'll like Infinity Pool. I have a feeling.
Okay.
We just need to get her some eyebrows, and then everything.
And as long as she can change the way that she talks normally in every movie, I'm good.
I think this is close to her accent, though.
This one might be close to more annoying Mia Goth as far as the voice goes. I don't know. It was a little bit of a shock to hear her talk like that, which is pretty close to how she talks in real life. But everything else was A+, I think.
Carlos, anybody seen the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie? I hear it's terrible, but
it is terrible. And not even in like the good, like bad way. It's just like not good. You can tell like it was totally a cash-in type of thing. And sometimes those can be fun, but this just wasn't. Not to me anyway.
Can I tell you a quick side story about Winnie the Pooh? I've already had my psyche destroyed by Winnie the Pooh because he was absolutely my favorite when I was a kid. And we actually went to Disneyland, and I saw him like out the gate. I just went running, and my parents were like, "Wait, hey, come back!" And I just ran over there, and I was like, "Winnie the Pooh!" and tugged on his thing. The guy in the suit turned, looked at me, and then like turned his back and walked away. And I just like was devastated.
No,
I
crushed.
was like, what? So no, I can't handle watching Winnie the Pooh kill people. He already killed my
Jeez.
soul.
That sticks with you forever when you're a kid.
Forever. It was
Yeah.
like the biggest childhood trauma.
Yeah, did you see the other movie that guy directed?
Speaking of,
Is he the one
Winnie
that did the Grinch thing, or is that different?
It's a different guy. Ryan, you're lagging bad, bro. I'm sorry about that.
I know, like, you guys are lagging really bad.
Yes.
Bad
it
on
keeps
my
cutting
end too.
out.
I think I'll refresh. Let me try refreshing.
Yeah, that might fix things for you. The one thing that I wanted to mention on here, because this just came out over the last couple of days, or maybe just the last day. So evidently somebody filmed or they copied. Yeah, well, hopefully this will work good. The ending, I think, of Scream, the new Scream movie, and it is on, I think, Twitter. I mean, I'm not a big Twitter person, and I don't really want to seek it out. You know, I hate shit like that.
I think someone has a copy. I think that's why you might see it ending up getting released at some point. I think that's how something went down. And the person put their name all over the leak too. And it's like, they're just going to sue your ass. Like, why would you do that? So I didn't see it, but yeah, apparently it went out in writing one night and then the actual clip went out.
Yeah, I don't understand why people would why do you want to see that? Or why do you want to spread it? Like, if you don't care about the movie and you just want to know like what happens, cool, but why post it out there when you know that one of the most popular franchise movies, you know, people don't want to know what happens at the end. And I'm not even like a big Scream buff or anything, but it's kind of shitty to...
Right. It's like the only thing it has going for it is that it's a whodunit. And it's like, if you know, then like the movie is like already tasteless, like has nothing, it's completely bland.
If you look at like the Force Awakens, though, like, you know, like I was a big Star Wars fan, and I just didn't go on the internet for a while. And then the day of the movie, I get a text message from somebody I haven't talked to since high school, and they're like, "What do you think of them killing Han Solo?" You know, and then I saw that people actually, I saw pictures of some guy that had wrote like Han Solo dies on the back of his truck. It's like these people just get off on spoiling things for other people. And
yeah.
Who knows why? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like some people don't even have a chance to see it, you know? It's like, or check it out.
I mean, it's the bad side of the internet, right? I mean, a lot of great things come from the internet, but spoilers and stuff like that, that was never even really a word until the internet become like a prevalent thing. And I remember wrestling. It was a big deal in wrestling because I didn't even realize back in the day that they recorded those shows. I mean, I didn't think about it, you know, and now you can find out the results of
like the dirt sheets and stuff. Like all that it's just like, that was like the early days of finding that stuff out, you know?
Yeah. And the internet too, with like a lot of these movies are digital anyway. Like they're like debuting the same day as in the theaters. So, I mean, I think it really like lessens the importance of going to movie theaters and all that, because like I think they've just cheapened the value of the movie in general with the streaming the day of the release and all that.
I remember back in when Return of the Jedi actually came out, Marvel, like, I don't know, 2 weeks before that, they did the full comic book version, hit the shelves, and I remember reading on the news that like people were really pissed off about that. Like, I think they jumped the gun, accidentally shipped it, or maybe they shipped it and the stores weren't supposed to put it out. But yeah, you could see that a full 2 weeks before the movie.
Yeah, there was a similar story I heard Darren Lynn Bousman talk about. Like, God, what was that? Like, Saw 2 was like 05, right? Somewhere around there. He said he was like walking down the beach and some guy had a bootleg copy of Saw 2 with the artwork and everything, the full movie. And he thought it was so funny, he just bought a copy. Like, it's like, I don't know what these guys think they're doing with stuff like that. It's like, you're just spoiling it for everybody. Yeah. What's up, Ryan? You look a little better.
He's on the cell phone now, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. I don't know what it is, if it's my internet or what, but every time you guys would talk, it would like freeze, and then it would just like stop, and the next thing you know, I could actually hear what you guys were saying like a couple seconds later. Like there was a delay on my end or something.
You can never
Seems
go
good
wrong
now.
with a cell phone. Yeah, cell phones usually work pretty good on this.
Yeah.
Speaking of Scream, I know we've all probably been seeing a lot about the Cinemark exclusive merch that they have now. The popcorn bucket, the plushie,
Sign.
and the
They put up
So-
a sign, right?
So go ahead and look at eBay right now and see how much people are paying for those,
Stupid.
because the highest I've seen is about $115 just for the popcorn.
What?
And they
Yeah.
put a
Yeah.
they put,
So you said bucket?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
for the bucket.
Wow.
they put
It's
up a
not even
sign.
big.
It better
It's
come
about-
with corn for that.
You know, it's not too big, but who's
It's
gonna?
got-
You're not
It's got a
gonna.
little
It's just
top to it.
yeah, it's gonna sit on your shelf, and you just paid $115 for a little
Yeah.
plastic.
Dust collector. Yeah.
They limited the amount per customer, so they actually have a sign like it's like Black Friday or something, and it's like it's so crazy. It's like who knew that people were going to be going crazy over this shit.
Yeah, they're all over eBay.
And I
Doesn't
think
take
that's something that they used to do a little bit back in the day with these little gimmicks and stuff when it was usually the day the movie came out. And
That's
people
what I don't
could-
understand. It's still February. Like, why are they putting this out now? Like already? It's like, damn.
Probably just to hype it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Go
you
to
know, if you-
Cinemark, it's like that's why they want you to go. But it's like, and I just go to one, like that's my regular theater that I go to. But like I didn't even attempt to get one, and I know that like even when I go there, it's going to be like,
Gone.
hopeless. But I'm going to ask anyway. I'm going to be that dude. I'm going to be like the 100th dude that's been up to the counter. Hey, do you have the Scream 6 buckets? I'll just look like an asshole, But I'm gonna because I'm a fan. Like I want to try to get one. Like, come on, but
Yeah,
we'll
I think
see.
they're about $15 for the bucket, and then I don't know what it is for the cup or the
That's
plushie,
perfect.
but
That's perfect though.
And
like,
that's
not
with
bad.
popcorn or without. If you want it with popcorn,
It's gonna
that's
be
about
extra.
$35. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
going to
that's-
say 15's too cheap for that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got one way back. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Infinity War or Endgame. You got like a 10.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
just got I just got it without any popcorn in it because I didn't want to mess it up.
Well, imagine if they would. You remember the opening of Scream 2? If they were to give out Ghostface costumes or sell them
Oh.
or whatever, how
Yeah,
much
that would
would
be
those
great.
go for? Like they could make them
Stupid
crazy
money.
cheap and charge like $50 or something, and people would buy them like crazy.
Oh yeah.
See, they would never do it with a mask. You can't do that anymore. They would never let you in the theater with a mask on.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why they'd have to do something like limited, like and make it like
Send
So-
it to
you
you
know.
in the mail.
yeah, like you'll just some sweepstakes or some shit, something rare like that. Old school.
I like
style.
that kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's cool that they have that merch at Cinemark. I think it'd be cooler. It'd be cool if more movies did that, especially for horror movies. But it's just you really have to think about everything's going to be flipped and scalped now, so it
Right.
kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool enough. I mean, I think I think fans are gonna. The problem with the resellers is like that they always get to it first. Like they're always gonna be like grabbing. Like who knows if they put up a sign today saying, "All right, limit per customer," but what about yesterday? What about the day before? What about when people started to get it? Were they able to just buy like 6 of them? Like, was there not a limit? Like, who knows what they're able to get away with within that first like release and which Cinemark actually got them first. Like, I'm curious how that rollout was because it seemed
Yeah.
pretty quick. You just saw them that they were advertised, and then it was like, oh yeah, people already have them. It's like, how? What the hell?
Yeah.
But-
Plus, not to accuse anybody of anything, but you probably have minimum wage employees working there who are like, should worth $150.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah,
Come in, have their friends come in and just buy it all. And
that's a good point.
I know
If they
I
were
worked on it, but I used to work at movie theaters.
Yeah.
If I was there
If you,
right
if you
now,
could cop some memorabilia, do it. I mean,
absolutely,
it's
I would.
like-
If they were smart, people would be taking and selling original posters, because even for brand new movies, it's kind of hard to find one sheet. Well, they're not one sheets anymore, but you know what I mean, like just the original poster.
Yep.
Unless you're getting a reprint online, like
Mhm.
some new movies, the original poster still actually kind of sells for a good bit of money, at least upon release or right after it's out of the theater.
I haven't had any luck getting anybody at any movie theater to give me a poster in 20 years or more. When I was a little kid, I remember that's how I got my Jaws original one sheet.
Oh, wow.
I asked them, I was there the last day, and I also got it was a re-release of Star Wars, and they had a banner on it that says, see coming attractions, The Revenge of the Jedi, and I went on the last night and saw the last show.
Oh, shit, balls.
Down, and I asked them, and they gave it to me.
What's up?
So curly.
But yeah, they don't seem like theaters give anybody posters anymore.
Well, I don't think there's as many posters anymore to go around because, like the ones even that up in Pikeville when we go to the movies, like almost every one of those posters looks like they're tore all to hell in the case. Like they're not even, like I don't know.
They don't take care of them.
Now that
they throw them away.
My ex-wife used to work at Victoria's Secret in the mall, and they had those huge posters, and people would collect them, and they had orders that when they took them down, they had to take a razor to them and cut them all up so that people couldn't get them and make money. So, Blockbuster used to do that. And so I wonder how many of these posters are destroyed at the movie theater when they're taken down.
That's such a waste.
It's absolutely a waste. It's like, what is...
Yeah, my buddy, he asked like the manager at Cinemark when Pearl came out about like the poster, and he's like, yeah, like, is anything going on with that? And she was like, oh yeah, like, they took down his information. They didn't do shit with it, but they're like, she kind of made it seem like, she's like, well, sometimes we have to send them back to the studio, and that seemed like bullshit. And I was like, Tyler, like, she definitely bullshitted you. Like, she's not going to do shit with that. But yeah, you can't even get anything. It's just
so there's something that's interesting
that's theater for years, and we never sent anything back other than the prints.
Like there's I think there's a company that makes a digital poster frame. Isn't that odd that they haven't moved to that instead of even fooling with like putting the fucking posters and shit up?
I saw those when I went to see Infinity Pool, actually. Like that theater, it was I think it's a Michigan-based company, but Imagine Cinemas, they had a couple of those digital posters, which I thought it was amazing to me because it looked like an actual real poster, and then it all of a sudden changed, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" I didn't think it was digital at all when I saw it.
That'd be really smart.
They're kind of expensive. I think they're like $1,000 or something, but you wouldn't have to fool with changing posters out again.
No.
Yeah, it's just a shame all this stuff gets tossed. I mean, like, it's also a shame, like, they don't even do, like, you guys remember, like, the cardboard cutouts, like the standees, like, back in the 90s?
Yeah.
They don't even do stuff like that anymore, and I really miss that. I wonder what happened to all that stuff.
Some theaters
does it a little
get
bit.
those.
Regal does it a little bit.
Cinemark likes to do it too, but it's like it has to be like a Disney movie or like
something big.
An Avatar. Yeah, something big. It's not like
I
not
remember.
like how it used to be.
I remember when Tenacious D came out, and the cardboard cut thing was fucking. I wish I would have got that.
Kind of hard to run away with some of those, though. They're gigantic,
Yeah.
How would you even haul it?
I also used to work in video stores for quite a while. Man, we used to get so much of that stuff. I used to have my parents' basement was so full of those things.
I can remember at the Riverfield in Pikeville that it was a pretty high ceiling there, probably, 60, 70 feet high. And you remember the movie, the Chris Rock movie, Bad Company with Anthony Hopkins, I think?
I saw that in the theater,
early 2000s. So I don't know why they did this, but they hung like a gigantic Mylar poster from the rafters of that theater. Right?
Jesus.
And it was up until they remodeled the theater, like for probably 10 years or longer. That big Mylar poster was up there in the rafters. It's like, damn, this
the champion that movie.
Assembling those giant cardboard things, though, man, you'd get this box and then these instructions with pictures on them, and you'd be like, well, I guess this is what I'm doing for my 4-hour shift today is putting this thing together. It was just, all those things suck to put together so bad.
Somebody in the comments was talking about how posters are a dying art. I totally agree with that. Like, you don't get painted artwork. And also, you were talking about the that some theaters have that digital poster. I've never seen that, but it would be kind of cool to think like maybe 30 or 40 years from now, if I'm sure by then all the posters will just be replaced with a screen with a picture of the artwork on it. But it'd be kind of cool to have some kind of like 3D interactive poster art. I mean, there's a page on Instagram called Retro One Sheet. I don't know if any of you guys follow that page, but he does like some guy that just makes kind of 3D poster art for new movies, and it's like there's moving stuff on the poster, and it's like a video basically, but in the form of a poster. That'd be really neat to see in a theater, but I think we're really far from doing something like that at a movie theater.
That's a cool
we got
thing.
a special guest tonight, boys. The real deal is joining us.
There he is.
Jay
Oh
Reed.
my God!
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Movie posters.
Movie posters.
Yep.
One thing too, like with going with that comment that it's a dying art. I think I saw it on YouTube, but it's one of those things you don't think about. But somebody made this poster or this video that shows all these posters are just the same goddamn poster anymore. It's like you have the shot of the star and everybody else around them. Like they're all the same poster, and it's just like, God damn, man. Just this generic like template that they just pump out over and over and over again.
Yeah, I'm going to give Garrett the idea because he's always wasting money on shit, spending all kinds of money on stuff. So, like, TVs are so cheap now, these big TVs. Mm-hmm. So you could essentially just turn it sideways up and
like USB drive on it.
USB drive of some high res posters, and
plus
there you
they're
are,
super
man.
thin too, so they would. I mean, they wouldn't.
I think that would work. That would look really cool too.
Just check out that guy's Instagram page, Retro One, the number one sheet, and just look at how the posters are set up that he does on there, and that would be so cool to see in a movie theater with like stuff on the poster moving and 3D type stuff going on. It's sick.
You said that's
it's almost. Yeah, it's on Instagram. Yeah, it's almost like those. What's the digital art thing that you can buy? What are those called?
Hell, I don't know.
I don't know what the hell they're called. People make them and.
Oh, you're talking about the
NFTs.
Yeah, NFTs.
Yeah.
You all excited for that Children of the Corn remake?
No, hell no.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely.
I thought it looked good. I
don't think the people who made that are excited. They waited a few years.
Yeah, wasn't that shot like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I just couldn't get over the voice on that trailer, that guy's voice.
It's the second Children of the Corn remake as well.
And it won't be the last.
Why is it still happening?
Why is there so many of those movies? That's
a great question.
Because they're so cheaply to make. Kid actors are so cheap to use. They'd be like, we can make 1 million of these Children of the Corn movies because we'll pay the kids like $5.
You were talking.
There you go. You figured it out.
CK was talking about early. I think you mentioned it on the Discord that the first Children of the Corn was not even that successful. I went back and watched it semi recently, and it's not really. It's kind of a boring movie, really. It's just sort of like I like it, but there's nothing happening really.
It's amazing. If you read the original short story too, there's not a whole lot to it, and then all of a sudden there's how many movies out of this thing?
12? Somebody say 12 movies?
Yeah, I think there's 12.
Are there any franchise sequels that play in theaters anymore? I mean, like the Screams, Scream and Hellraiser, all that stuff is streamed. Is there any that actually play in theaters anymore?
I think Scream. Theaters,
yeah.
Halloween.
Theaters.
Yep, Halloween.
Oh yeah, Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot though. Really.
Friday 13th will be in theaters.
Jeepers Creepers was in theaters.
Yeah, when will that ever happen? God.
Yeah, I know, right? Still waiting. It'll be the 13th film.
I keep hearing all these things. Like, wasn't there like a I don't follow sports, so sorry, but I thought there was like LeBron James or somebody was trying to spend a bunch of money to make everybody happy so he could, because I guess he's a big fan, and he was like, I'll pay whatever you want, just make the movie. And I thought, well, maybe. But
yeah, I read something about that too, I think.
I remember that.
Yeah.
LeBron James would play
That was a
Jason.
handful of years ago. Yeah, it was like.
I thought that was going to actually happen, but
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
the
it was like
court
right
thing kept
before
happening.
the
Yeah.
lawsuit.
LeBron James plays Jason like a 6'8",
Yeah.
like thin Jason.
It's gonna be called Jason Kicks the Hood or something.
On that.
Space Jam with Jason in it.
Should get Hugh Jackman to do it.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. That was his dream role. He said when he first got to Hollywood, he wanted to be Jason Voorhees. He was a huge fan, but he never.
Oh, then let him do it then. That'd be great.
That'd be fucking cool. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if he still wants to do it that bad, why not?
The mayor has a request, guys.
Oh gosh.
Baby!
That movie's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Baby!
That song. Just
when I
because we
saw
got that
that
song out of that movie, I mean, I don't hate it as much for some reason.
I fucking still hate it. That movie pissed me off.
What's funny is those the old Jeepers Creepers song. Wouldn't that be like a public domain? That song's older than the hills. Like, why couldn't they use that song?
It's still even in the public domain, they still couldn't afford.
Yeah, freeze too much.
It's like I watched that movie when I watched that movie for the first time. I was so fucking pissed that I paid money for that.
I would not pay money for that.
Oh, Curly, are you going to check the Blood and Honey movie out? Because that seems like something you might like.
I might check it out after work tomorrow. I might check it out because my work is right next to the movie theater, so I might go across and check it out and see what.
In theaters.
Oh yeah,
It
it's in
is.
theaters.
Even,
But so far, everybody said it fucking sucks. Like the people are like the director's getting death threats and everything.
From Pooh fans.
What's funny?
I can't believe that got a release though. That's
what I was going to mention about.
Infinity Pool's dumped to streaming by the fucking Winnie the Pooh movies.
It already greenlit for a sequel.
Yep. So what was kind of funny? Sean was telling me this. So he runs his own label and stuff. Apparently, the people who like own the rights, I guess, to that franchise now, they're calling it a franchise because they're planning to make a sequel. Apparently, he was actually in talks of possibly releasing the soundtrack to that, but he decided not to because part of the reason was they would not let him view the movie before. It was like part of like the contract. He couldn't see the movie before releasing it. And he's like, on that terms, hell no. And I don't blame him anyway, regardless.
Yeah, between that and Cocaine Bear, I don't know which one.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear would be interesting, I think, at least. It'd be entertaining.
Is that's getting a wide release though? And I've seen like
that was playing in my Cinemark.
You got to do it on the road for Cocaine Bear.
What's going on, boys? We'll see Cocaine Bear today.
Sarah will go for that.
That'd be the best on the road ever.
Just tell her it took place in Kentucky. She'll go.
Oh gosh.
That's the kind of movie that the title alone just sells that movie. It makes me want to go see it just because of the title.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of movie theaters, is there anybody here that would be actually willing to pay AMC for like a prime seat at a movie?
Oh, fuck that.
No.
I heard about that. Fuck that.
If you go to AMC, you get hair in your popcorn. It's a bad time. So it's like
know,
you might
that's
as well
what,
just stay,
it's
go somewhere else.
seriously the worst theater in my area. There's like
Well, I think this is their last plan to try to save the company or something. I think they're going out.
Company by charging more for some. It's just like no, lower your prices and
Premium seats
over there instead. It's
Oh, you want the seats in the center? You got to pay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's the guarantee that the seats are good? Like,
who's going to enforce that shit too? They're going to have a bouncer that's going to be there, like, as you're walking around, to be like, "Not there, man."
Hopefully, it wouldn't cost me much because I'm blind and I usually sit on the third row. So I don't know what the third row would cost, but
you get the cheapest ones.
Yeah,
I sit in the very first row. That's what,
usually the third row center is where I sit.
You get the one that's facing the other direction.
Seriously, I go to when I go to the theater because I still have to be careful with COVID because it's fun. I'm like over 50. I'm overweight, inactive lifestyle, diabetes, and asthma. Fuck, how am I even alive still? It's amazing to me. But so I'll sneak off. I'll take some vacation time and go during the day to see a movie, and I'm the only one in there. And seriously, what are they going to do? Like yell at me for just sitting wherever I want to sit?
Yeah, there's nobody else there at all.
Yeah.
Literally.
Hulk Hogan, no, brother.
Yeah, like
thing
in
is, like,
Gremlins 2.
You can't sit there, man.
whenever they do Gremlins 3, he better have a fucking cameo.
Well, he'll be in a wheelchair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there even any bad seats in a theater besides like the first two rows? Like really? Like why would you pay? They're all kind of the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like Ticketmaster all of a sudden, like getting seats for a show. Like we don't have to have this section
$100
pricing, platinum diamond seating in the center. It's like what? Like what is
I
that?
remember like when like surround sound and all that first started coming, like that actually had an effect on where you sat in the theater. But it seems like now they just kind of like
people don't really even seem to talk about that at all anymore either. Like
right.
I feel like the theater is dying in general. Like everything's streaming now.
Well, it's like what I was saying earlier.
Even the movies in the theater are streaming.
Yeah, I mean that's how they watch a movie. They beam it from a server somewhere. And
I can't remember back on the old forums. I remember I was all excited because and it was actually right before The Exorcist first came out on Blu-ray. But they put The Exorcist back in theaters. I was like, hell yeah! And then somebody on the forums like, you realize this is just streaming the Blu-ray that comes out.
Fathom Events or
shit, you're right.
Whatever the hell it is.
Yep, yeah,
they send them a link or whatever that they can use, and they use that link.
Because I mean, essentially, it's the exact same as you watching it on Vudu or something like that. I mean, the resolution may be a little bit better, but I mean, who gives a shit? It's the same. It's digital. And the fact that most of these movies, like before, what was it, like a 3-month deal, 3 or 4 months before it would come to streaming or DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. Now, essentially, after a week, most of these movies, a week or two, they're already streaming. They're
45 days usually around that.
I don't even know if it's that long.
No, I mean that's what they were saying at one point, but yeah, it just depends on the movie.
I'd love to get a tour of like one of those new projection booths. So like I said, I used to work in the theater, and you'd thread up the 35 millimeter and play it, and I'm like, it seems like it'd be so sad. Just what is it?
It's a laptop now.
Yeah, it's an iPad.
You just click this file here, and there you go.
I remember we had one where it was one of the big movies, like maybe Jurassic Park or something, but we had one print. They were supposed to send us multiple prints. Like they'd already booked like 3 auditoriums for this movie. So like the head projectionist figured this shit out. We're like upstairs. It literally was in this one, coming out, going down the hallway, going into this other projector, coming back out. Like he ran it through 3 fucking projectors, and it was like, it worked.
There was a lot to that shit. I know
it's an art for sure.
Jay worked in the theater for years,
yeah.
And I saw him in action. They put one of these, just an hour and a half movie together. There's a gigantic reel.
Oh, it's huge.
It's probably 150 pounds or something. The one reel.
And
there's so much that can go wrong when it plays.
We always had to, because we put them together. You'd slice it together.
Yeah.
And the employees, like that was when we got to see the movie, which was kind of nice because you could answer questions whether it was good, but we all would, get free popcorn. You bring booze and your girlfriend, and everybody would sit and we'd watch the movie after the theater closed and get out like at 2 a.m. because we had to make sure these things worked before you let audiences come in and find out that you put it on backwards or put, reel 3 where reel 4 goes. And
back in the old days, those old projectors, there were some some parts of them that had copyrights from like 1942 and crap. Then they were they were you loaded the top reel at the top, the take up reel at the bottom, and threaded it through these chambers and mechanisms and such, and clamped it shut. And good Lord, and it was lit by these two carbon rods that touched each other and lit a fire. So basically, you had a welder's hood that you put down to
you had to get licensed.
It's crazy though. Like how much of this shit could go wrong?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
Well, I was in a bunch of theaters that they went wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It happened from time to time, and a lot of those old theater like projection booths and stuff, like Jay was saying, it was like going into a goddamn sauna or something. Those projectors were so hot.
The movie
I had to get licensed. Did you get licensed, Jay? Like, even though we weren't dealing with nitrate, the laws were still in effect.
No. I mean,
I had to get a license to be a projector.
It was Seth Wilson that ran Mahia Theater back then. This was 83 to 85 is when I worked at the theater. 1983 to 85, and he
That's
paid
the glory years right there, boys.
Yeah, he paid me just below minimum wage, so it was kind of an under the table deal. He just paid me in cash.
Popcorn.
And,
Here's $2.
And God, these ancient projectors, and we had these, on a table. You had to look. There was a little, two reels that ran with a little, motor. To rewind them, you had to make sure that that you weren't going to be showing, like you said, showing it backwards or showing it, So you had to, get them, rewind them. Some of them were, by the time Mahia Theater would get a movie, they were so worn out. They were brittle, and such, and just you'd have to splice them together. But those old projectors, good Lord, they were literally lit by fire. Lit by, like say these two carbon rods that touched each other, and they illuminated, and that's how the movies were lit, literally by fire.
Well, you always saw smoke coming out of them.
Yeah.
Well, somebody mentioned cigarette burns too, and I know that's a real thing. People don't realize that was how you knew, right?
And
Back
of course,
in the day, because you'd have two projectors, and you would have to all right, it's coming up the end, and then you'd have to flip that one. I didn't
upper right hand corner of the film. You had one, and then the first burn is when you started the next projector, and the second burn is when you switched over.
Yep. I was lucky enough that I had, like CK said, those huge platters, so it was all just one. You didn't have to switch back and forth.
No, we didn't have that.
Jay
two
was old
projectors
school.
And switching from one to the other, and then back to the back and forth.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a lost art. I mean, I know some big cities have the 35 millimeter projectors, and some drive-ins still have them and everything. And it seemed like something special, like especially if you're doing a midnight movie, which we did those back in the day down here in Prestonsburg. People come from like 3 or 4 different surrounding states to see Madman or something like that in 35 millimeter.
Wasn't that you played your print at one of the drive-ins, right?
Yeah, we did that too.
Convention I couldn't get to, but yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I went when Hateful Eight was doing its roadshow tour, where you could see it projected. What was it? Was it 70 millimeter? Was that what that?
Yeah, I think so.
That was? So I went to a screening of that, and it had they shipped a special camera or projector to play it on, and the film obviously, and it had the intermission in the middle of the film and everything like that. And after the movie, we went up to the box where the seats were and looked, and there was a woman in there, and she was like a projectionist, and she just kind of opened the window and started talking to me and my buddy about the projector and what it took to get it there and all that. And it was just a massive piece of machinery, really. It was pretty cool to see.
That's really awesome. I didn't know it shipped. I thought that it just went to special theaters that already had 70 millimeter.
Well, I don't know if they shipped the camera to this or the projector to this theater, but some theaters already had them. But it's just rare that you see that.
What you
in the
doing, though,
theater
Curly?
anymore.
I've been watching. What you been doing?
Curly,
Where's Uncle Bill
you gotta
at?
get some headphones, brother. There's some audio kickback coming on your end. Every time we talk, you hear it feeding back in. Just
That's your
letting you know.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
a
I
good
hear
question,
double.
and I don't know, but what do they do to project movies now? Is it all digital, or I mean,
I think it's all digital.
It's all digital.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because, like you said, it's like you might as well just watch it at home, or you know, because it doesn't feel that authentic, other than the experience of going to the theater and having.
I so seldomly get to the theater. The last movie I saw in a theater was Top Gun Maverick. And I will say that is one movie that should be seen in a theater. You know, that was that experience.
That was a good one to see in a theater. I
That's
would agree.
that's one of the, but most movies I'm cool with watching it, you know, on my 55-inch TV.
And that brought people out. It still shows you that depending on the movie and the name attached to it, people will put asses in seats, you know? So like, it's dying on one end, but there's also still people that will go see Scream 6 opening weekend and it'll be fucking packed. You know, I see it all the time with any horror release. Like it just it happens in a vacuum.
Or not Annabelle, Megan.
It's just like Annabelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on the services now. I'm pretty sure Megan's out there, so you have to pay full price for it, or get it for free $99 either way.
Yep, exactly. That's what I did.
Yep.
Well, Megan's it's already streaming. Or
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can find it. I'm sure Steve can get it for you for a 5-finger discount.
Yeah.
Not Steve.
No, he doesn't do that.
One thing.
You wouldn't download a car, would you, Steve?
If someone showed me how.
One thing though that I wanted to bring up for a couple of reasons. I'm not even. I mean, I like these movies and everything, and we can talk about the movies if you guys want to. But they made the announcement today of probably one of the coolest box sets that I've seen a major studio do in a while.
Oh yeah.
And I got pictures up here, and we'll showcase them real quick before we talk about them. It's the new Superman Steelbook 4K collection.
Wow.
Did they say what the retail was on this, guys? I don't know
Nope.
if they announced it yet. But
They haven't announced the retail.
each of the movies has the original artwork.
Nice.
Steelbook form. I think a Blu-ray and a 4K.
So is that box going to be like the Rambo box that was at Best Buy?
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be something like that, but I don't know if it's going to be exclusive to just Best Buy.
I love that they put the theatrical cut
Yeah.
and the Richard Donner cut.
Yeah.
And I especially like, even though the movie's not the best, I like the artwork for Superman 3 and Superman 4. I'm glad that they went with the original artwork on both of those. Now,
I remember seeing all of those movies at the theater when I was younger. That was,
one thing though, that the second part of that, right? The same company owns A Nightmare on Elm Street. The same company. So is that box set possibly coming from Warner Brothers, giving maybe similar treatment? Because the Elm Street movies, man, they may have. I mean, overall, I'm sure they made close to about the same amount as the Superman movies, maybe even more.
I feel like they're going to wait until a new Elm Street movie comes out.
maybe. I mean, there's not a new Superman movie coming out. And if it's the same company, maybe they'll do it. I always wanted, I mean, now it probably will never happen, but like, why don't you put in real 3D and digital 3D, like the end of the, you know, what was it? Freddy's Dead. I would love
Freddy's
to see
Dead
that
was great.
3D. I mean, there's no real feasible way to release that entire movie because, you know, you have to put your glasses on.
The weird thing though about 3D is it was the old school. It was like the red and blue 3D in the theater.
Yep. I remember sitting there going like, when the fuck are we going to put these glasses on?
So, I mean, how would they,
trying not to get popcorn grease on them?
would they be able to convert that to real 3D? I mean, I don't know how that works.
I mean, they do
Probably.
that. Like, there's Friday the 13th 3 is that box is digital 3D.
I think it was a different 3D though in theaters.
But that was red and blue in the theaters, man. That was the same. It was the Anacliff 3D.
I heard it was the Shutter glasses, the 3D when it came out. It was the same technology as Amityville 3D and Jaws 3D and stuff like that.
I never saw any kind of Shutter glass. I mean, they had like the paper ones when Friday the 13th 3D came out, and then also like I know for a fact like it's a really fun 3D experience. There's a spaghetti western called Coming at You.
I got that. Yeah,
I would recommend that. That's a lot of fun. And
Yeah,
it
God.
looked great in like the digital 3D, but that was definitely Anacliff back in the day.
I'm pretty sure the Friday 13th in the Scheme Factory set is real 3D because they had replacement discs for that, and I remember it was specifically real 3D. So they did do that eventually.
Well,
but yeah,
what
we
I'm
first
saying
got
is
it
though,
in
when
the-
it was in
Yeah,
theaters back in the day.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, I was only like 2 years old, so I don't know for sure, but
I don't think that Shutter technology existed when Friday the 13th 3 came out. I really don't.
Well, if there's somebody in the chat
Could be
that
wrong.
remembers,
Indie Phantom.
what do you
Yeah,
say?
someone has to know.
Okay, somebody says on the chat that it was yeah, exactly. That it was polarized in theater, not the red and blue Anacliff.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought like all that technology, like there's like a 1 or 2 year period there where they all use the same technology, and it had to be filmed a different way with like two different cameras. And,
What do you think's the best 3D horror film, like with the red and blue 3D? Like I would say probably My Bloody Valentine 3D.
The remake?
Yeah.
Wasn't that in real
Yeah,
3D
that was a real 3D.
Yeah, that was real 3D.
But I mean, the Blu-ray you got or DVD is that's all they had.
Right.
They did release a 3D Blu-ray, but it was standalone or something.
Right. Okay.
They re-released it again, like with the stereoscopic version of it, because that's the one that I have. When I watch it in 3D, I watch the the stereoscopic one.
yeah, I mean, my brother-in-law has the projector that does with the shutter glasses and everything.
Yeah, that's what I
And
use.
We watched Friday the 13th in 3D, and
It
that
looks
probably, that probably worked as good as any 3D that I've ever seen. Honestly.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was such a treat to see that. I've been wanting that in anything that would actually work. Like I remember all the old DVDs. It was a shitty experience trying to watch that.
Which there's a couple of different movies that I bought, but I haven't brought them up there to watch them yet. Like the Jaws 3D Blu-ray, they have that, and Texas Chainsaw 3D, which I actually kind of like. That's one of those movies, oddly enough, that I kind of like. I mean, as far as the later Texas Chainsaw movies, that's probably the best one.
That's probably the second best one,
other than the most recent one, right?
Yeah, Netflix one.
Does anybody know like if there's a streaming service where you can stream 3D, like real 3D movies or not?
No. Sure.
I'm kind of surprised by that, but
I know people they do rip them and upload them on site, so I know that's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, but they usually are ghosting like crazy. So
Really? Yeah.
at least the ones I saw.
It could probably be
someone
hit or
else-
miss with that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a hit or miss. You're right, Anthony. Like I have a few that are pretty good, but I mean, it's like the side by side, like frame by frame type thing. So like when you set it up, like you have to select that option to make it in 3D. So it's not exactly the same as like watching the disc version, but some of them are good, some are bad. So
yeah.
Very cool. But getting back to Superman, though, is this a set you guys? I mean, I like the movies. I've got the big DVD box set and everything. Is this a set you guys are going to pick up? I mean, it's a beautiful set. I was shocked when I saw Warner Brothers was the ones doing it.
Superman's my least favorite character of DC, so I would not care to get this.
I have them on VHS still, so yeah, I definitely think it's time for
That's an upgrade there for you.
yeah, I only have the DVD like 10 they did from back in the day, so I'll probably
That's
pick
what
it
I've
up.
got.
Yeah, how much are they? I mean, we don't know what the price is, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be, probably a Yeah, I was going to say maybe
$150.
Well,
Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that Rambo set, I think. How much was that 4K set? Like $80, I think.
Yeah, it was like something like that. It was maybe like 100, and then it would go on sale for like 80.
I'm thinking somewhere around that, like somewhere between, if not 75, like to 100 easily for that set.
And these are Blu-rays or 4Ks. What are these?
Both.
4Ks, both.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know. I mean, if anything, I might wait for a price drop. I'm the same way. Like I have them on VHS, so maybe it'd be cool to eventually get these. But if it's too high in price, I'll just wait for a sale or something. I'm sure they'll make many of these. I'm sure they're not going anywhere.
It's cool that it looks like that does come with the digital versions too.
That's cool.
Sweet. Yeah, the one with was it part 4 is the one that had the Sun Man guy? It's like a He-Man character come to life. I even kind of like that. I mean,
Nuclear
it's
Man.
awful.
Yeah.
But
It's very
I don't
awful.
know. It's like cheesy bad. I think Golan Globus did that one or something, didn't they?
Yeah, but they, from what I saw something about it. Maybe it was on one of the discs, but they cut the budget, kept on cutting the budget, so they didn't really have any money to do anything.
Wonder why they didn't put Superman Returns in there.
Might as well.
Wonder why.
I don't know. I feel bad for that guy. I thought he was a decent. It's not a great movie, but he's a decent.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Superman Returns was in that big DVD box set that they did, the Big 10 set and all that. Because it came out shortly after Superman Returns came out.
Speaking of superhero movies, are you guys going to go check out The Flash since Michael Keaton's going to be in it?
I think that's the only selling point for me.
Yeah, that's the only selling point for me on that as well.
Well, he was supposed to have his own like Batman film again, and they scrapped it. Those
Wasn't he in like? I don't know. I didn't
He's in
follow it,
Batgirl.
Wasn't he? He was in Batgirl, right?
Yeah, they literally shot like things with him returning. That's what fans wanted, and we're never going to see it.
They can never. Yeah,
I wonder
they
if
can
any
never
of this
show it.
footage is that footage.
It'll come out in 10 or 15 years that you can buy it at a convention or something.
Be a special
Probably.
feature.
I heard that Brandon Fraser was going to be like the villain in that Batgirl movie that got scrapped.
Yeah, he's playing Firefly or something.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that they scrapped that one. And
Yeah, how you gonna shoot that big of a movie
Ezra
and
Miller-
scrap it? That's just
Yeah, Ezra Miller's been arrested a million times, but they still went forward.
I know.
But
Well, I think Batgirl was only going to be for HBO Max. I thought. So, but either way, they scrapped about $80 or $90 million.
Man, we could have got my.
Nancy!
Oh no.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Are any of y'all watching The Last of Us?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I am.
That's that's one of my favorite video games. So I was really,
mine
looking forward to that. And they've done a really good job with it.
I'll tell you what, I didn't. This was a series I didn't want, didn't need. I'm like, no thanks. Like to me, that's like, hey, we're gonna make a video game out of The Godfather. It's like, no, this is The Last of Us is a perfect video game. But holy shit, are they nailing it? And the changes that they've made actually do improve things. Like I'm just blown.
They've managed to honor the fans of the game and then bring something new to it at the same time. And I'm amazed of how well they've done with it.
In this last episode, it was really cool because when you play the game, you see Joel and Henry having their conversation over here, but in the show they show you like Ellie and Sam and and then her saying she's always terrified of ending up alone, and it's like, oh, anybody that knows her story arc, that was just ouch.
Yeah, it's like
particularly with those characters, you know how they wind up, but they take a new path to get to that end, and like you say, they actually improved upon the game on the show. You know,
Which I didn't think was going
in
to be
that aspect
possible,
they did.
but they did.
Yeah, I think there's I'm still, I'm watching it week by week just to see, because I'm a big fan. I'm still kind of feeling mixed on the show, so I might be the one here that's like kind of like, I don't know how. I'm a big fan of the first game, and so
Not
far,
the second game.
Not the second game.
Me neither.
We don't talk about that.
Game is,
No,
I mean,
that's a can of
if you
worms.
really think about it, you're like, what else could they have done? I'm
Yeah, but,
super angry about what happened, but in that universe, what the hell else was going to happen?
I mean, they could have just not made a sequel and done
I know,
another
that's
Naughty
what-
Dog
that's
game.
what I want.
So there's that. But I don't know. I just think that the show, like, it's doing things, like the certain changes that they're making. There's certain things that I'm just like, why did you do that? And I've been burned so many times with Resident Evil films. And I understand that, you know, this is the closest thing that we've gotten to a game that's been accurate. But I'm just saying that, like, you know, we'll see when this whole season is done, because there's certain things where I'm just like, no, that's not going to fly for me. I'm sorry. But it's to each their own. I just didn't like a lot of the changes, especially with like just the like Sam and Henry. The one thing that I didn't like about that is like they really
That's bullshit, Gary.
they really ruined it with that character that they kept throwing in there that was running the town looking for, you know, we were supposed to care about her brother and all this stuff, like that kind of stuff that they're forcing in. There's no spores. They cut out the spores. The bloater doesn't even throw spores, for God's sake.
Cutting out the spores was a bad idea.
It's stupid. And the fact that, they could just come out of the ground like Gears of War. Like, what is that? Like them running like it's World War Z. Like, get that shit out of here, man. That is not Last of Us. So there's certain things that they do that, like, I understand. But, like, to each their own. You know what I mean? I'm still watching it. I still like it. It's not, like, the worst thing I've ever seen. But I'm a big fan of the first game. And, like, I don't know, man. There's just certain things where I'm like, we'll just see how it finishes out. You know,
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to reserve my judgment, because I keep watching it each week, and I don't want to be like, you know, I want to wait till season one's done, and we'll talk. You know,
well, I'm also a big fan of the first game, but you know, in adapting anything, in adapting a book or adapting any kind of, you know, thing like that, to adapt it to particularly, you know, a series or a movie, they got to make some changes. They got to do some things differently. Right. And so, I mean, me personally, it hasn't bothered me. Episode 3, I know a lot of people really loved episode 3. I liked it, but what they took away from the interaction between that character and Joel and Ellie, they completely took that away.
I agree. Yeah,
I didn't care for that. I mean,
I've thought about that, and I think that the problem with that is that they have to eventually make Ellie likable. And if you had her doing that right away, you got to recover from her just being really nice, you know.
But Bill, I don't know. Bill also wasn't just held up in a neighborhood; like he was around in the town. Like as soon as he went into the town was surrounded in booby traps. He didn't just stay in a house the whole time. So that's another thing I did not like at all about that. I was like, no, Bill would have went to Home Depot and did the whole town like he did in the show. He went to Home Depot and grabbed the supplies. Like it would have been the same thing, but he would have done it in the town. That's what the game Bill would have done. You know what I mean? So like,
that is really the only aspect so far that I didn't think the episode was bad.
Right.
Well, the story they told I thought was good, but in terms of
definitely.
someone that's a fan of the game, I didn't like the direction they went with episode 3.
Yeah, the pacing is a little weird with the show, in my opinion, in terms of like how a lot of the episodes are connecting. But we'll see how we'll see how they wrap it up in the next handful of episodes I think we got left.
I think some of that has to do with they keep going back and forth between the Chernobyl guy directing and then Druckmann directing. So you know, there is different style of storytelling, so it is affecting the pacing of the whole story.
Right, but I mean, hey, look, as an HBO property, like the sets look good. HBO's got the money to do it, so like I'm happy that they're at least handling it, because it's going to be, you know, dark. It's going to have that emotion, like that stuff that you need is going to be there. You know, with the Resident Evil movies, it's always just like Screen Gems and crappy Sony handling it, and it's always like a lot. It gets worse treatment, so I'm happy at least something that I love is getting an okay treatment. So, you know, so far, like I said, I don't completely hate it. There's just things.
If they want to do a good Resident Evil movie, they need to call Sam Raimi.
I mean, dude, they need to call anybody anybody other than Johannes Roberts or Paul Anderson at this point.
Get Paul W or somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes, did you get the picture I sent you?
I did, yeah. I think that's actually that same photo, which I'll try to show it here.
Oh, I didn't know if you've already shown that.
I think it's on. Jay did a whole video on the Mahia Theater
I just know if you just wanted to show that old projector, just and my stupid ass, but.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That
there we
thing
go.
is huge. Holy shit.
And like I say, there's that hood thing there that it's got that little glass there where you can see and make sure that the two carbon rods are staying aligned, But if you open it up, it would just. I'm already blind. It'd make you really blind.
Crazy.
Did it break down a lot?
Well, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble with them breaking down, but me being blind to begin with, having to keep things focused and crap, and just, everything was manual. There was not a single thing was automatic about any of that. Of course, that everything you had to handle yourself and turn.
Is that the projector they showed London After Midnight on, Jay?
Well, I've told Wes we had two.
What the hell's this?
He owned two movies, and it was a softcore porn called The Sexy Dozen and horror movie The Forest. And we would switch between those two to show a midnight film.
Was The Sexy Dozen a play on the? Was it a Western? Was it at least?
No. I can't even remember the plot. The only key scene I remember was a woman collating a banana. So she goes down on the banana, and this guy is watching them. And she goes down on the banana.
Practice.
That's the only thing I can remember from The Sexy Dozen. This is one.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Blowing a banana.
That pussy in the theater.
When I was a kid, I always thought, man, if I get to make movies, I want to make two like kind of kung fu porn, the Samurai Sex Slaves and the Naughty Ninjas, and I want to play them back to back at a drive-in. But my dream never came true.
Damn.
So,
I'm going to be right back. I need to restart my camera. I think showing that screen has made me awfully dark. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. But you guys continue on talking about that show.
Yeah, Wes is not key into Last of Us, I guess.
although Sarah's watching it, so
Yeah, well, a lot of people that haven't played the games are getting into it, even horror fans. So that's cool. Like that's what it's there for. So I think it is kind of part of that,
Well,
horror
that's one thing
realm.
I'm wondering, and of course, I'm with most people that I didn't hate part 2. I mean, I think just as a game, it plays.
Gameplay was probably 10 out of 10. I would agree.
I enjoyed playing it, but there's a storyline and everything, and the way what they did to Joel. Now, I didn't mind that Joel went. I minded that he went that way. They didn't give him any kind of. There was no dignity to it. He went. It was really shitty the way they did it.
I don't know, man. That is the world that exists in The Last of Us. It's a brutal.
Now, so that he, well, a spoiler alert, he dies. But anyway,
he might not end the show though. That's the thing. They renewed the show for a second season, and I think they're going to change.
That's what I'm wondering is because this show is successful. The ratings are good and it's doing well. I'm assuming they're going to do the part 2, and
they already announced it.
That's what I'm wondering.
The actress that plays Ellie is so young.
Yep.
How is that going to fit into part 2, where she's I don't know how old she is. She's a teenager in part 2. She's
I was surprised the actress is actually in her 20s, 19 or 20. So I was like, wow, she actually is Ellie's age in part 2. But I was like, how the hell are they going to make her look old enough to?
Yeah, especially how they crank these things out, right? Like they'll probably film part 2 like next year, and it's like, will she look that much older? That's a good point, actually.
And as divisive as the story of part 2 is, are they going to tell the same story, or are they going to go in a different direction?
Change it? Well, Neil Druckmann wants to. He seems like he wants to stop making games and go into Hollywood, and I think he got what he wanted. So I think he's not going to continue. They even said he's probably not going to continue Last of Us. And as far as the games are concerned, that's kind of what he tweeted recently. People were kind of wondering what he meant by that, and if he's just going to continue in this Hollywood lane or continue to tell Last of Us in this cinematic way. I don't know. It's it's a very interesting question.
What I do is finish the first game, then I'll go off and make an Uncharted series maybe, and then come back and do let some time pass.
Right.
But man, I'd love to see an Uncharted series that was done well. The movie was, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of weird
yeah.
that they did that. You know.
Yeah, I saw somewhere the girl was wearing some kind of binding so her boobs don't show.
Really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere on Twitter or something like that. So maybe Scott heard of that too.
Yeah, it was weird. Uncharted was like, they kind of just put it out, and then people kind of talked about it, but it wasn't really like, and that's such a massive Naughty Dog property too, and it's weird that they just kind of were like, like it didn't really. They marketed it, but I guess they were just still like, I don't know if it was still when theaters were opening up or whatever, but it was still just like kind of underwhelming, I think, for them. But I think this is clearly the hit that they wanted. I think that's why the HBO kind of team up works, at least for this series.
I was not a fan of the casting. That's not
right.
silly. Come
Right.
on.
No. And even
Dude,
yeah, that because wasn't Mark Wahlberg supposed to be Nathan Drake like years ago when they announced that, and now he's playing Sully?
Well,
yeah, and he was like involved with the production for like almost, I think he said almost a decade.
That
and then,
is
like the studio called him up and said, "Hey, all right, you're gonna have somebody else," and he's like, "Wait, what?" They're like, "Oh no, you're still in it, but you're not playing the same role."
When I saw it in the theater, like the audience actually like cheered at the end when he showed up with his mustache. What a weird thing to cheer!
That's amazing.
He's Sully.
Speaking of HBO Max, did you see that they're coming out with that It TV series?
Are they? I didn't.
Yeah,
it's a prequel.
Like,
the Pennywise.
Yeah, Coming to Dairy or something.
Yeah. Allergic to dairy.
It's funny because that just sounds like an It sequel. Sounds more of a Hulu project than HBO Max. But who knows? Maybe it'll be all right. I mean, there is a lot of stuff in that book that takes place way before.
We still haven't seen that fucking turtle.
That's true. Yeah.
Turtle,
which is bullshit. I want to see. I was mad that they didn't show the turtle in the new in the remake. I was like, "Where the hell is the turtle at?"
I remember as a kid just being like, I read that and I'm like,
"Oh,
what just happened?" And then when I grew up and I learned about cocaine, I was like, "Oh."
I was mad because in the book Christine makes a little cameo, but not in the movie. So,
damn,
I wanted to see Christine.
Is anyone else bummed that they're re-releasing House of a Thousand Corpses on Blu-ray only, no 4K? What's that all about?
No new transfer either.
Yeah,
They're
what
not
the hell?
changing
This is
the
the one
transfer.
from 07?
I'm curious about that movie though, guys, because like how wasn't it one of the early movies that was shot digitally? Was that movie just shot completely digital, or what's the story behind that?
I think Rob did do some shots in 35. I think he said some of the stuff that he shot at his house, like in the weird, like in between time with getting the film done, like some of the segments with Bill Moseley, and all that stuff. That was shot on film, I think, and some of the stuff was, I guess, digital as well. I'm not sure about the whole thing. I just know that he mentioned stuff like that.
I mean, it looks great. The Blu-ray looks fantastic.
The
Like, it
DVD
really
looked
does.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So was it one of those deals where maybe some of it was just shot in like 2K and there's not really a point of it?
Probably.
Possibly. I don't know.
But if it's going to be that same disc from that old Blu-ray in this new packaging, it's kind of shitty, I think. I mean, I know there's a second disc with new features on it, which is fine. And that,
There's a ton of new stuff on there.
At least on. See, I don't know about the Steelbook because I wasn't sure if the Steelbook was a 2-disc, but that other edition with like the like the fancy artwork
Art
and like
stuff?
all that. Yeah, that has 2 discs.
Photos here. Here's the Steelbook, which I don't like this one at all.
No, I don't like that
It's
one.
very
dope.
Very I don't know. I think I do like the slip over the steel, but I just think that like I don't know. I don't know what else. I would have preferred maybe like a Captain Spaulding image on this, maybe.
Right.
instead of
Yeah, nobody
Dr.
cares about Dr. Satan.
Yeah, like Dr. Satan's
No.
cool, but like on the Steelbook, I don't know.
When this
See,
one right
I-
here is badass, though. I
That's-
love this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I mean, if that's the one with the extra stuff on it, then I might just get that one. But I'm a sucker for Steelbooks, but it's like I don't want the same transfer,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, if that was now, does that look like a big box to you, or are they pulling a Severin and that's going to be a slipcover?
Oh man.
Well, if it was Severin, I'd be worried. But
That reminds me of that meme that I saw going around a little while ago. It was like when you go to the movie and some lady talks through it and ruins it. There's a picture of Sherry Moon Zombie.
I have a, I don't know if it's funny, but I have a Bill Moseley story. One of the Texas Frightmare weekends that I attended when I was promoting my first little movie, and Bill Moseley was one of the guests, and they were giving away all you could drink Monster energy drinks.
Oh no!
And you could get one right after the other. I mean, they'd give you just endless supplies.
Straight battery acid.
And so I had drank like half a dozen Monster energy.
Oh gosh!
And Bill Moseley, every time I'd go and get one, there was Bill Moseley right there getting one too. Hey man, hey, you getting another one? Yeah, I'm getting another one. And we were both just completely shot to the moon on those fucking Monster energy. And so I was jacked. I thought I was going to die. You know, my heart's just racing, heart's beating like a rabbit. I'm freaking out. And I went to his table, and that was back when it wasn't just real crazy. You know, I think it was on a Saturday, and it was kind of in the evening, and things had kind of slowed down. And I'd go over, and I was just talking just a mile a minute to Bill Moseley. I must have talked to that man for like a half hour, just standing there talking to him. And we were both just zooming on Monster Energy drinks. And I can't remember a thing we said. I just remember we were both just talking about just nothing, just bullshit. But we were freaking out on these fucking Monster Energy drinks. And so
that is true, Jackson Jack. She did think we were a real radio show, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, so me and Bill Moseley shot the hell on.
Oh, Curly, have you ever had gummies mixed with energy drinks? How would that work?
Oh God, I wouldn't tempt that. That's just asking for a fucking stroke to happen.
Steve, I bet Steve's done it.
No.
I know I talked about this on Dana's stream, but I remember one time I went to a Waffle House and I ate half a pint of cookie dough. It was 1,000 milligrams.
Oh my God.
1,000 plus a brownie on top of that.
Oh no.
I end up like fucking passing out at the Waffle House, hitting my head. My fucking face was fucking yellow. My lips were blue. My brother thought I was dead. So note to self, don't eat that much shit.
Yeah.
We had a good Bill Moseley story too, though. There was a convention. I think it was one of the Horror Hound shows back when Uncle Bill turned his back on the fans.
One of the first times, I think.
And I drove all the way from Michigan, right by Detroit, all the way to Pikeville to pick up Wes and take him to this. And we had a great time then. But we went around all the celebrities, and I'm not going to repeat what we asked him to say here, but it was Uncle Bill is something, and Bill Moseley, he did it, and I remember asking Dee Wallace that, and she's like, "I'm not going to say that." So then we put together the video. I think we had to promise Bill Moseley that it would never see the light of day, but I think it's on Patreon.
It's on Patreon. Yeah, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a good sport about it. He just took right to it. He's like, "Oh, sure, I'll call him now."
Did you get the kid from The Exorcist or Damien?
Omen.
Yeah, the Omen.
And actually, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers is on there too.
He said the Tony Moran word.
And it's funny because you can actually watch like Wes deteriorate. Like he's in it from the beginning, and then by the end of the night, we're like, "Wow." There was absinthe. There was all kinds of stuff. We were rocked.
That's a cunt. That's a cunt right there.
There. Right there. That's a cunt.
Well, I guess I've told Wes this before. That first convention, when I was promoting Dawn, they set me next to Tony Moran, and that's who I spent the weekend with. Was
Your
Tony
paths
Moran.
were destined to meet.
And we chatted briefly. Every now and then we'd chat. Didn't talk about anything, any movies or anything. We just would chat and just BS. But yeah, they set me with Tony Moran right next to him.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that was a whole lot of fun for you guys too, from what I remember you telling me. But I don't know the details.
Forward to your Sean Clark
The first convention was nice.
Is that in 2 days or is that tomorrow?
That
Monday.
is Monday night.
Monday.
10 Eastern.
forward to
It's actually going to be, I'm looking forward to it too because I've talked to Sean Clark a few times at conventions over the years, but I've never heard the entire story of he and Tony Moran. I believe Tony Moran was his very first client. Now, I'm not 100% on that, but I know that Sean was the dude that found Tony Moran. So for years and years, nobody knew where this dude was. And Halloween collectors, of course, wanted his autograph and everything at first. So the relationship didn't last very long. I do know that.
So did Sean know about the podcast, or did you reach out to him and say, "Hey, have you seen this? Do you want to talk about it?"
Yeah, he knew about it.
Oh.
So you reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to fire back.
Oh, I knew he would want to fire back. But I didn't know that he was going to tell the whole thing, the whole story.
Wasn't Tony like a insurance agent or something when he found him or something?
I think
it was
so. He
something
was
weird like that, or like a mortgage broker. Or
yeah, I
something.
think he was in real estate or something like that.
Yeah.
And he had a regular life, right? So I don't know. We'll hear in detail what all happened there.
Have you already recorded it, or is it live?
It's going to be live, I believe.
All the way live.
Even better.
Steve will have to check it out the next morning because he'll be
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to do before I forget, because we're going to try to keep it at 2 hours tonight, is right there you are. There's Ryan.
Yep.
We actually met up a few days ago. Ryan Adkins down there in the corner with that Killer Madman poster.
Thank you.
There behind you. I appreciate Madman and that poster. We did a little bit of an exchange. So he's got a T-shirt there, right? You see the Skeletor shirt. And he brought me a whole box of goodies. I don't know what in the hell's in there. And I was like, we'll do an unboxing or something like that, and I'll open it in a video form. So I figured this would be as good as time as any to do that sort of thing. What do you guys think? You want to see what I got?
Let's see it.
Let's do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, I was afraid
Pretty big
to send this honestly in the mail because there was one item that's kind of fragile in there.
I heard something that made a weird noise in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, is it a snow globe or something? It's something.
It was a cat, but now it's just a dead cat.
The bowling ball.
What did you do, Steve?
I didn't do it.
We need the Brad Pitt clip.
I think I can move it here. Hang on a second.
It's the captain's show now.
That's shit.
Oh no, not me! Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I love Thief. That's a.
We can move them around.
Is that
Oh.
a Laserdisc or is that?
Yeah.
Track?
It's a new flashlight.
That's a killer shirt, by the way, man.
That's the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, thanks, dude.
It's a great video game.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's got,
PS2 game.
I haven't
got
watched
Dolph.
it yet. Not yet,
It's got-
Jack.
the shirt. It's got doll face on the back. So
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Oh,
there
nice.
we go. There we go.
Uh-oh, here we go.
all right, CK's turn to talk now.
Coralina Cataldi box cutters. I appreciate you giving me a big box of shit, Ron. I didn't really.
No
I can
problem.
give you a big box of shit if you want it.
I already. He gave me a package of Reese cups too. But those didn't last very long.
I didn't expect them to last long.
We actually devoured a pack on the ride to her parents' house.
Shit in the box. Shit in the box.
It's a dick in a box.
Shit in the box.
You'd like that. Dearest Wes, I've always been a fan.
I won't read the letter. It could have some personal
Yeah,
information in it.
it's just a personal between you and him, man. Sorry.
I didn't know. Again, I didn't know if I was going to mail this out. Didn't know what we were doing.
It's a bunch of paper to wipe my ass with, boss.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's see what we got, boys. We got some movies.
Oh, shit.
DVDs.
You don't have any of those.
Probably not.
Hopefully, it's better than the stuff Wes used to send me packages once in a while. This is the worst DVDs. Shit he didn't want in his collection.
We used to sell those DVDs at conventions too. They would be on our.
And he would send me the shit that didn't sell at the conventions.
They sent Dana a bunch of cheesy flicks from that company. You can imagine the crap that was on that.
Oh, okay.
It's
cool.
the entire
So,
Tartan Extreme collection.
you guys can give me.
That's
There you
funny
go.
because there is a theme to it. There is a theme to this box set, and it's kind of close to that.
I got some snacks down there too. We'll get to that.
Oh,
So, Steve, I'd say Steve and Matt. I don't know. All you guys might know what this is. Takashi Miike! Dead or Alive.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Nice.
Awesome movies.
From
Love 'em.
Arrow Video. Cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
I've never seen that.
I have not seen that.
The first two are really
I've
good.
heard Steve talk about this one.
Uh-oh.
I think we talked about this one when we were watching the Ebola Syndrome, and this is one that you brought up. It's an unearthed classic, The Untold
Nice.
Story.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you got that. You got to check that out.
Killer.
someday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Maybe Steve can. We'll do like a live commentary of it or something in the future. It's a film by Herman Yao.
You gotta, when you watch that movie, you gotta eat some like Chinese food.
Yeah.
Gotta eat dumplings, especially.
Yeah, dumplings. Yeah.
That guy floating around the internet, like that
Some
picture
pork
on the back
buns.
looks so familiar, but I haven't seen.
And I swear to God, you guys may not believe this, but I do not own this movie. I've never owned it, but Ju-On the Grudge on DVD.
The preferred choice.
That one come from Ingalls.
Oh,
Yep.
Ingalls. Movies from
Yeah,
left.
that'd
Sir. Wow.
It's a cool
Thank
one.
you, Ryan. It's cool.
You're welcome.
And we got some. Where in the fuck did you get these at?
So I was up in Cincinnati. There's this place called Jungle Gyms, and they sell all types of like foreign, domestic stuff, even snacks. And those are supposed to be, I think, like some sort of beef flavored potato chips. So if you've ever had like the Doritos, like after midnight years ago, they had like the taco and the hamburger flavor.
Oh,
it kinda
yeah.
tastes like the hamburger flavor.
You can see steak. It's steak flavor. You can see the steak right there.
It's a steak.
Yep.
Rare.
Ribeye potato chips, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
That'll give you a heart attack.
There's some more stuff in here too, boys. Let's see.
Ebola syndrome flavored chips.
Yeah.
This is wrapped up.
Oh,
I don't know if I
shit.
like the shape.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think you do like the shade.
I think
Tony
you would like the shape.
Yeah.
Well, I had a prostate exam Tuesday, so I already know what that probably feels like.
Wrap
Jeez.
this one up good, dude.
I tried because
It's a dick demon, dude.
No, the packaging isn't crooked enough.
It's
Nope.
pre-leaning.
Placid edition.
The straight
Oh,
edition.
okay.
Yeah, straight
I
dick
think
demon.
I've got an idea of what it is now. I'm safe. I can show this thing on
You can.
stream,
Yep.
I believe.
Everything in this box you can show, I promise.
Is it a dick demon?
No.
Is it a demon dick?
Uncle Bill tonight.
We had talked about this, I think.
Yep, we did. And I mentioned that to you a while back.
I probably won't open this because it's too cool. Rowdy Roddy Poppers,
Oh,
all
shit.
out of bubble gum.
Holy
soda.
shit, dude.
Who the hell? Who the hell did that?
Just let that ferment for a couple years.
It literally tastes like if you've had Big League Chew, it tastes just like that, but in soda form.
Wow.
Swear to God.
That's really cool.
Dude, there's more shit in here. Holy shit.
Yeah. He just cleaned out his closet.
No. No, I didn't do that.
Well, I did that one time, and he made $150 off of something I gave him.
Oh, shit.
So,
So Sarah's totally taking these. These are Haribo gummy chameleons or something like that.
Yeah, those are German, actually.
I I see Haribo stuff in stores here too, though.
Yeah.
Because she buys it all the time. Mint Kit Kat from Japan.
Yeah, there should be a couple, I think, in there.
Yeah, there's
You
a
should
few
get
of
some.
those.
You get Milkies from Japan.
And everybody, I know Steve, and especially Oak Hurley, if he's still in here.
Uh-oh.
He passed out. I don't know.
Yeah,
He wants to get crunky.
Crunky like a monkey.
Crunky Crunch chocolate bar. All right. And some lychee gummy candy from Yokohama or wherever it's from.
Yep.
I got a
They
few
should
of
get. You
those.
should get some seaweed flavored chewing gum.
Ugh.
Oh
I'll
man,
add that to you,
the
dude.
wasabi Kit Kat.
Oh God!
Some more
Wasabi peanut.
strawberry
bar.
gummy candies, and these are
I think there's strawberry. There's
mango, baby.
mango. Yep.
Cool.
Mango Tango.
Awesome. Brian, dude, I appreciate all this stuff, man.
No problem,
It's
man.
really cool. I
Yeah,
had
I'm-
no idea what all was in here, so
Yep.
cool. Appreciate it. I'm going to get off the big screen here and let you guys.
You know, that brings me, that reminds me when you mentioned Takashi Miike,
Mhm.
a movie I haven't seen in forever, and now I want to look it up. Itchy the Killer.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Oh,
Yep.
and I haven't. I used to have a copy of that. I need to see if I still do. I may still have. I may have to just dig around and see if I still have a copy.
Yeah, that blood bag edition was awesome. That shit was badass.
I haven't seen it forever. Now
One of the greatest title sequences in a film. Opening title sequence. Ugh.
I got
It's been a long time since I've seen that. That's like one of the probably early 2000s that came out on DVD or something like that. I can't remember.
This was a DVD that I have. I guess I still have it. I don't remember them selling it or anything. So I need to find it.
I got this today, and I think CK, you're gonna be kind of jealous about it.
Actually, I think I got mine in today too.
Oh, did you guess?
I haven't
Aqua, too?
opened it. Yeah, I haven't opened it
Nice.
yet, but
It's a killer
That's
film.
Because
So
you
good.
were like kind of upset about that I didn't get you in on the scoop on that.
for some
My bad.
reason, like one night I was just looking on there and it was for sale again, and I was like, "What in the hell?" And I went ahead and got it. So.
And Wes, I brought this up before. You need to send me something so I can ship these things. I got the To Live and Die in L.A. soundtrack.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Oh man.
man.
And
Is that the soundtrack?
It's the soundtrack, yeah. Wang Chung.
Very cool. Yeah, I forgot all
Yep.
about that. I'll definitely.
I got mine right here.
Oh man.
Oh man, I love that soundtrack
I got
so
my
much.
son Godzilla right here.
What were those?
Tubular Bells.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. I got that too. Yeah, that's a great one.
And they're in really good shape. They're vinyl. They're really good shape. But
Speaking
yeah,
of which, yeah, I'll definitely. I forgot all about that, Jay.
but I think you said that Uncle Bill would like the To Live and Die in L.A. and you would want the.
Yeah, if I ever meet up with Uncle Bill again, I see him about twice a year. So
Ryan,
You
what
can
was
mail
that
it to
Godzilla
him.
one?
Where is Uncle
that?
Bill? He's been gone the whole time.
his internet completely died literally as we were starting. So
AKA somebody forgot to pay the bill.
if you go back, yeah, you'll see a frozen Uncle Bill at the very beginning of the stream.
And he had
And
under his name.
my webcam died, so I'm using my laptop webcam over here.
Here's
we've had some technical issues.
Here's a record for Stuntman. He posted this on Instagram. I got the soundtrack for Eyes of Lord Martha.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, how sick! So the funny story about this record. So like before I ever saw the movie, there's a record store in Pittsburgh called Jerry's, and it's one of like the biggest used record stores in the United States. But I had seen this record on the shelf in the soundtrack section. It had to be close to a year. It was just sitting there, and I'd always flip past it and go, "Oh, I never saw the movie, so I'm not going to get the soundtrack." Watched the movie, fell in love with the movie, and I went back. They still had it there, so I'm like, absolutely, I'm picking it up. So, yeah, dude, if you ever get a chance, definitely look this one up. And
I swear to God, man, I think that I've seen that used at like Goodwill before, and I didn't get it.
dude, it's
Like
just
the
that
old
the
school
cover
one.
is so good.
Yeah, the old school one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this is the OG. Yeah, this is an old copy, but
Oh, really?
I just love that cover, dude.
Like a soundtrack with a bunch of bands and stuff.
Yeah.
So, speaking of records, though, it was Record Store Day. They made the announcements today for Record Store Day in April. There was actually, like, usually there's really nothing I'm looking forward to, but I have a few on here that I'm excited about. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts on them. One of them is soundtrack, but probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most is, and it's the most limited one. I think there's only 1,000 copies. The legendary hip hop album from the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh.
Be a man.
No way.
Be a man, Hogan.
That's a legendary
For
album.
the very first time on vinyl, Gene Okerlund, yeah, it's the Macho Man.
It's purple.
It's
I didn't even know that was coming out. That's
Dude,
awesome.
I swear to God, like if I don't get this, if I don't find it somewhere, I'm gonna be madder than a wet end. Because
What's it limited to?
1,000.
1,000 copies.
Oh, that's pretty low.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's pretty low.
I was working at this place on Fort Knox, and there was a black girl, and she was playing the shit out of the Macho Man rap album. And I was like, what is going on?
The song "Be a Man," it starts out like it's a rap song, like to Hulk Hogan. How much he hated Hulk Hogan and wanted to challenge him. He was like, "I'm diggity damn Hulk." Yeah.
How do you even get your hands on something that's that limited? Like, how do you find out what stores have it?
Well, there's one store.
You got to call around.
There's
Indie
one
record
store
stores.
in Louisville that is pretty good. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is, but they get a lot of copies of stuff. So I'll probably, my brother-in-law's big into the fucking record store stuff too, although totally different sort of music, but we'll probably go there first because there's a few that I want, guys. Look at this one from TerrorVision. Paul Zaza.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
So-
that's a cool looking cover, dude.
Yeah, I think that one is not as limited, but I think it's only going to be on TerrorVision's site. I don't know if it's going to be in stores.
They will have like a retail version coming out later. They done the same thing last year with the People Under the Stairs. They did a Record Store Day exclusive, and then they released a retail version. And I think it was also like a TerrorVision Club Member Edition as well.
And also, any fans of Kiss, I mean, I pretty much have to own this because I've got all the other solo albums. They did an Eric Carr solo
Oh wow!
album in the theme of the early 80s Kiss solo albums. And I think it's got a lot of rare songs on it and stuff like that. So that's another one, but probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most. And I think that, and if you guys have any, just let me know. But I think that there's a ton of these. And I saw this artwork and I was like, fuck, if it was $50, I would get it. And this is a Dio live record from 1983, live in Fresno, circa the Holy Diver era, Ronnie James Dio. So
Is he like in the land of the dead, or what's going on?
I guess. I don't know.
Who's the
It's
guy?
a Holy Diver cover.
Who's the guy with the chains? Is that on the other cover? or
That's the
something?
guy on Holy Diver. I think he's a
Oh.
priest that was
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
Holy Diver record. And then
Oh.
Dio's mascot, like Eddie from Iron Maiden, his name was Murray, the demon thing.
Oh.
But yeah, that
There
one,
is,
definitely looking forward to that one.
There's also going to be a Ennio Morricone soundtrack coming out for The Unknown Woman, which is like an early Giallo, I guess, 1969. I had never seen the movie, but I was looking at the Record Store Day list and saw that was coming out too. So that might be a cool one to pick up. It's under the Italian name. I don't remember what the Italian title is, but I think the English title is Unknown Woman. So
Let me ask you something that you bring up in your Morricone. Tarantino in Hateful Eight used some leftover music from The Thing that he had done. Did they put that out as a soundtrack?
I want to say that I think that track that's on there in the Hateful Eight, I think that is on one of the records that they put out for The Thing. I think I could be wrong.
I
There
thought they
was
used more
a,
than one track. I didn't
Lost
know.
Cues that did come out a while back that
Oh,
I think
yeah.
has it. there's the main theme, Burn It to Max Shack, and something other track on here. But yeah, I think that was on there.
Did speaking of Record Store Day, did anybody get this on the Black Friday Record Store Day, the Waxwork?
I did not.
No.
Soundtrack?
No.
Not yet, no.
That's a pretty cool one. It's got the die cut sleeve on there with the if I can get it to come out here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but it slides out like that. So that's kind of neat.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
TerraVision, that's TerraVision too, right?
Yeah.
They always do like a killer job with their packaging and everything too. Like always,
Yeah.
I think they're even maybe a step above Waxwork somehow. On a lot of their stuff.
That's a cool one though. I thought that was like the only thing I picked up for the Record Store Day Black Friday. I kind of stopped getting those. I used to go wait in line, and for a couple years there, back in like 2014, 15, and I slowly stopped doing that because I think the prices kind of got higher, and the crowds are like nuts on Record Store Day. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. It's like Black Friday, but just for people who like records. And you know how I don't know if you frequent record stores, people can get like weird. It's like they're kind of assholes sometimes.
They're a lot like people that you run into at the conventions too. Like they kind of smell a little bit, and you want to keep your distance.
Yeah, it's like I wish I could just buy it online. I'm that type of person.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that there's at least a couple here that are around in South Jersey. One of them being like a more like mom and pop record store, so it's very easy to sometimes you get stuff a little early because you're cool with the owner, like that kind of thing is like cool. Like it helps. And that's the only way I've been able to get some of these things, because it's kind of like, it's hard to get some of these titles. Like you said, with the massive amounts of crowds. And like, if you're in with him and you're a good customer, he'll like be like, yeah, you want to put some stuff in for Record Store Day. All right. What do you want? Boom, boom, boom. Puts your name aside. Like it's just good. That's that like mom and pop kind of vibe that like is missing from a lot of the shops, but I'm grateful to have something like that around here, other than like Tunes, which completely went out, you know what I mean, stuff like that, where they don't really have that.
The only one I'm really concerned about is that Macho Man one, because
I was gonna say CK, if you're looking for that, call the record store that you're planning on going to, and I think they'd be able to tell you whether or not they're getting a copy. Because the record stores around here, they have a list. They kind of know what they're getting in general. Like there's one record store here that they get like every Record Store Day release possible. So if you call them in advance, they might be able to at least tell you if they're expecting it or not.
Yeah, usually they get stuff at mine like a week or two before Record Store Day. So
cool. Yeah, I may have to do that. But anybody got anything else, boss?
I could do kind of a little show and tell thing. It's interesting, some of the things that you can get if you just ask. I'm working on another little short film. I sent CK the script to it called Crystal. And I'm not going to go into the story, but at one point, a teenage girl, basically crawls out of the grave. A dead girl crawls out of the grave. And there's no tombstone. It's, you see, like when someone's been freshly buried, before the tombstone comes, they'll have a grave marker, they'll have their name on it. And it's like a little, like a metal pole, and it's got a little plate. It's got their name on it. And I thought it's something I'm just going to have to make myself. But I thought, well, what the hell? So I called a local funeral home. I said, how much would one of those grave markers cost, And they said, well, what do you need? Did someone pass away? I said, no, I'm working on a short film. It's a little, I make little short movies and stuff, and with actors, local actors and such. And someone, I guess, recognized my name. I brought my name up. Said, oh, yeah, Jay, yeah, come on, we'll give you one. So I got me a grave marker.
That is so killer.
And it's got a metal plate that you glue onto it, and I'm going to have a name printed up and put on.
That's
there.
going to look so good in the shop.
Yeah, I've got an authentic grave marker. So
that's awesome, man.
And I
I'll
just
tell you,
asked them, and they gave it to me, and I said, "Well, I'll give you credit in the movie." He said, "Oh, great, great." You know,
someday I want to have a private conversation with you and talk about your movies and stuff, because that's always been my dream to make a movie, but I don't know. I always,
like I say, and it's a hobby
and stuff to do it, and I would really like to talk to you about how you get it done. And also,
well, I can
where
tell
can we
you,
see your movies at? Are they on YouTube or?
well, yeah. What if you send me like this on like Facebook Messenger, just send me a message and I'll send you a link to it, because it's unlisted, but it's on YouTube, so you can't go and search the title and find it. Yeah. Because this She Made a Monster has been playing in film festivals, and it's won some awards and stuff. But
actually, I friended you on Facebook so I could kind of watch the making of the movie, but I got to wade through all these gunshots.
I'm covered up today. But anyway, yeah. And if you just send me a message, I'll just send you a link, and you can just watch it that way.
Awesome, I will. I'll do that.
The She Made a Monster, you can watch it. But yeah, the festivals, a lot of them don't want you to have it just readily available to watch. The festivals that you enter. So, but I'm sort of winding down on the festivals for that one, and I'll probably make it just searchable and just make it where anyone can just watch it anytime. But
awesome.
Yeah,
how many awards are you up to on the She Made a Monster now? There's like a huge amount of awards that thing's won.
I think it's played at 62 festivals and it's won 42 awards.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
That's incredible.
You have to build you a trophy case or something.
Well, of course, they all send you a digital copy of the certificate and all that. They don't send you an actual award anymore.
Print it out, man. Print it out and hang it up.
Yeah.
Go to Kinko's.
Kinko's, yeah.
He's going to have to get one of those digital frames just to display those.
Yeah, cycle it on a USB, like put them
make
all.
a slideshow.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Jay's, from what I've seen of the new movie, and I did read the script and everything, it's going to be really interesting. Totally different type of movie than, She Made
kind
a
of a
Monster.
ghost, kind of a little bit of like a Reanimator, and there's a little like but what is it? There's a little pet cemetery in it, and there's but there's a little bit, I guess, my first movie, Dawn. There's a little bit of that in it with a father and daughter.
Steve wants to know if there's any rape in it.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe the next one.
Maybe the next one.
Thanks, Wes. I was a little shy to ask, so I appreciate it.
I mean, I knew that's what you were thinking there.
Oh,
so.
well, yeah. I think about like Little House on the Prairie and all kinds of good. Andy Griffith.
Steve actually did the Infernal Rapist. He reviewed that one on his last Captain's Quarters show. I think you really liked that one, Steve.
It's the only time you'll see a Japanese dude in a Mexican rape horror movie.
That's really rare.
It is rare. A Japanese dude he's half Japanese, half Mexican, and he looks Japanese, and he's rapping all that Spanish talk.
B plan in Rape No Date.
No date. Let's do the other, I guess.
No rape, no date.
Lord.
Well, I thought it was funny. I don't remember who mentioned this in the chat though. It was when we were doing the Vinegar Syndrome, the daily sales that they were doing the last month, which some people still haven't got their stuff, which is insane. But Steve was doing an update from the broom closet at work or something, right, Steve?
That was the best.
He said that was like the only time he's ever heard anybody whispering about rape at work.
I usually yell about it, but I had to be quiet.
Had to turn the radio off. And
yeah. I'm sure my boss really likes to hear his voice on that video.
We just had a special guest star appearance by Dana back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana's off tonight. She could have joined us, man. She's always welcome.
Yeah. She's eating soup.
She loves. I fucking hate soup.
I don't eat soup.
I don't understand. Like you're basically eating flavored fucking water of some sort.
Right.
Especially the soup that has like the vegetable soup. It's got corn and stuff floating around in it, and other random chunky. Oh God, no way, no way.
No.
I can do chili, but not soup.
Yeah.
Cereal's just soup and milk.
Yeah, chili's great.
Yeah, chili with some hot sauce. I can do that all day.
Absolutely, yeah.
But any of you guys got anything else? We've got a few more minutes on here. I know Stuntman's been kind of quiet, dude. Tell us about some X-Files episodes. You guys got one of those shows coming up soon, I bet.
Yeah, we do. We'll see if Uncle Bill's internet holds up. I mean, I don't know what happened
Didn't last
tonight,
very
but,
long tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be tomorrow, actually.
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, we'll see.
What's your favorite? If you had to pick, like, I don't know, 2. What are your favorite 2 X-Files?
Episodes or seasons?
Episodes.
Oh god, that's too hard.
I've always loved like Jose Chung's From Outer Space. Like,
That's a good one.
I like the kind of whimsical ones. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it is actually Jose Chung. The one where it's like told from different perspectives. I know like Luke Wilson's in it.
The one with Luke Wilson is season 5. That's Bad Blood. That's a vampire episode.
Yeah, where it's like it's told from different perspectives. And
yeah,
like,
that's
in Mulder's point of view, she's just like mean spirited to him, and then he's like a total jackass from her point of view. That's a great episode.
Yeah, some of the more like comical ones actually do seem to work. I mean, you wouldn't think like it would in a show like that, but it just works for some reason. That's a testament just to like the writing staff that they had back then.
And Home, man, like when he like
Yeah.
We're eventually going to do a watch along of Home at some point. I don't know when that.
I just
that'll be.
CK, you're steering the ship on that one, man. What's I'm waiting on you.
Which streaming service has the episodes? I don't even know.
It
I
used
think
to be
it,
Netflix, right? Back like
it was Netflix. I
8
think
years
it's
ago or
Hulu
something.
now because
It's on. It's not on Hulu anymore. I just checked like a couple days. Yeah, because I wanted to start it back up again.
I was thinking when I watched the live streams, I was thinking like, man, I should probably try to get these and watch, because I've only seen like I think the first season in completion, started the second, and then like I think they were taken off Netflix. But I was like,
well, that's a good question because I watched the episode Home maybe 3 months ago, but now I can't remember where I watched it. So
well, there's a free streaming thing. Like I know Pluto TV, and then more specifically this Comet. They actually play blocks of them.
Oh, okay.
So that's one way to see it for free, but obviously not on demand.
Yeah, that Blu-ray set is like out of print and like really expensive. So I was like, because I was thinking about that, I was like, do I just do it? And then I was looking at the price, I was like, whoa! I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that.
it's like $300 or $400 now. It's crazy because I got it for like $100 or so.
Dude,
bucks
I was
back
kicking
when it was-
myself because I saw that when it came out, and I was like, maybe I should do it because it will force me to like finish it, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. You guys started doing those shows, and then we started hearing about some more UFOs. You got anything to comment on that, Stuntman?
I actually it was reposted, but the stuff that I've been seeing on Instagram and like just the news in general, it's pretty wild. I mean, I'm a believer, but I don't know about you guys. Like,
right?
It's intriguing. I've always been
is.
interested, and I follow like any documentaries, and of course, I mean there are UFO horror movies, but there's not a whole lot of them that are actually good. So. Like it's something I like.
Fire in the Sky is probably my favorite.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
one of the best ones. Yeah,
there's a fire in the sky. Yeah.
Also, it's so killer in the or those X-Files show intros where you had like Miko like floating in space. That was fucking hilarious when I saw that in the thing. I was like, oh my god, the throwback. It's like the mysteries of Dead Pit.
So evidently HBO Max has X-Files streaming.
Oh, and I'm looking at it right now on Hulu. It's
nice.
Up here.
Oh, is it on Hulu as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It must have been Hulu where I watched that. So.
Oh, is it on Hulu? Because I could have sworn I like pulled it up on the TV and it had the picture of it, but like when I went to find the episodes, they were like not there. I don't know if you had to have
I brought it up on a browser and it's there. So
okay.
Oh, okay.
You have a subscription, so I don't know. I don't know if there's free Hulu or not. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I said, watching or listening to those shows is just cool to hear you guys talk about it. And I was like, damn, maybe I do want to go back and check those out. And then I was thinking about that like the past week. I was like, do I get that Blu-ray set? And I'm like, nah, maybe I'll just try to find another way to watch them, or just get the DVDs. But I don't want to like even settle for that because I don't know the quality of them. And they're still probably in 4:3 because I know they updated them HD when they were on Netflix. But I don't know.
Were they actually filmed in widescreen when they filmed the show?
I don't think they were, honestly.
Because I mean, when they converted it to widescreen, it looks really good.
It did look good. Yeah,
looks good.
So I just wonder how that they were able to maintain.
Well, there's something.
Look.
I think they shot some TV shows back around that time in something they called Open Mat, which I don't know if X-Files was one of those, but I know that some of those TV shows, like it was a huge square image, and that they would cut some of that image off to format it to whatever they were making, if it was a movie or a TV show or whatever. So the X-Files, I'm guessing, was shot on film though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It does make me wonder if it eventually went widescreen or not, because it was on for years and it would have been in that time period, but I don't think it started out that way for sure.
Yeah.
Nancy! Wes talking about how much he hates soup, and I'll eat it occasionally. I usually put it on rice when I eat it, but I got this. It almost sounds pornographic. It's Campbell's Chunky Creamy Chicken and Dumplings.
There's too much going on there.
That's a lot of stuff.
Chunky and creamy.
Yeah, that's
creamy, and what they put it in a different font and a different. They really emphasize the creamy.
That's a lot of promises. I don't know.
Rambo was mentioning chicken noodle soup.
I can fuck up some chicken noodle soup for sure.
Chicken noodle soup, though, man, when you open the Campbell's chicken noodle soup, to me, it smells like body odor. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know about Campbell's. I don't know.
It reminds me of going to horror conventions back in the day.
Oh, God.
There's speaking of X-Files, this has nothing to do with X-Files, but kind of does at the same time. There's a guy on Facebook Marketplace that lives near me, and he is like the biggest X-Files fan I've ever seen. And he had some stuff for sale like a year or two ago, and he had like a press kit, an X-Files press kit, and it came with a VHS tape that had behind-the-scenes interviews and stuff like that. And it came in like a evidence bag, and it had like a zine or some kind of
really cool
stuff in it. Yeah. But then I ended up buying this off of him, and I don't even really like the movie all that much, but it's this like original magazine for Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like in totally mint condition. It's got a ad on the back for this model kit.
Oh wow!
This Jason Goes to Hell model kit. But the main reason I bought it was because of these posters that were in it that had never been hung up or anything. So there's a couple of really cool shots on these posters of Jason and
oh shit,
those are nice.
It's like
in the
8.
city there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then on the other side you got this.
Oh wow, there's
Nice.
That is cool.
And then
back
there's
in
one
the day,
more.
I used to call like I was a weird kid. I made up like I had a magazine, and I would call studios and say, "Hey, I'm from such and such magazine." And they would send me press kits all the time. And shit. I used to have piles of these things. It was great.
Wow,
nice.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
It's
It's like
unique.
it's a weird thing to find on like your local Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, okay, yeah. So it's got like pictures, trivia, when you used to like have to cut the thing out and mail it in. And
How much did you pay for it, if you don't mind me asking?
it was like under $20. It was like $15 or something like that. I mean,
That's not bad.
I mean, the Gore store with all types of stuff you could buy. I don't know, some kind of unique thing. There's some people that are crazy about magazines. I mean, you go to these conventions, at least before, I would use like the one in Cleveland or wherever that is. What's the big one in Cleveland? Or near Cleveland?
Not sure.
The convention?
Cinema Wasteland. Cinema Wasteland.
Oh, right.
There was always a guy there that had tons of magazines, and I just never really got into them. You know, it was kind of a not my niche, I guess. But I thought that was kind of cool.
The guy that sold you that, is he willing to part with that X-Files press kit?
Dude, I'll look it up. I'll send you a link if I can find it, because it was like last year.
Okay.
If it's still available, I'll send you a link to it. I'll let you and UB fight over it.
Well, just don't tell him. He don't have to know.
Dude, it was
his internet's dead.
He was only asking like $25 for it or something crazy too.
I bet that's gone by now.
So
but yeah,
I don't know, dude. I'll send you a link after the stream.
Okay.
I'll show you a couple of VHS, and I mean, CK, if you want this in your package too, I'll give them to you. But one of them is Laser Blast.
Laser Blast.
Nice.
And then Michael Dudikoff and Avenging Force.
I always used to get Michael Dudikoff and Tom Matthews mixed up all the time because they look so much alike. I thought it was the same guy that was in American Ninja that was in Return of the Living Dead.
I saw Laser Blast in the theater when it came out. I remember going with my friend Mark and seeing Laser Blast.
One thing I'll do a show and tell too, because looking at this online and then looking at it in person is totally different. Like when I saw this, I was like, God damn, this is fucking beautiful. And it's Dark Sky Films' upcoming 4K. What am I doing? Of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I did a video on it.
Yeah, we watched
So
it.
killer.
But you probably can't tell. Let's see if I can zoom up here on it, or I don't know what I'm doing. But just the way that they put it together, and you can't really tell but how bright and colorful it is in person. Like, it's just...
That is so nice.
I don't know if they've ever done that artwork on home video, like at least disc format at least. But yeah, I really love it. And this is kind of pricey, guys. Like, I think it's like $50 or something like that. But man, I would have a hard time passing this up if I saw it in the store.
That's $50. I think it's only like 37 on Amazon.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so I got screwed over because I pre-ordered it early when it dropped, and Amazon does that thing where just because you pre-ordered it early doesn't mean you're gonna get it in time, right? So they kept saying, oh, it's gonna get delayed to the end of March. So I canceled that, reorder it, and now I'm getting it by March 2nd. I'm like, fucking Amazon, man. I hate when they do that shit. Like, but I got mine for $39.99. At least
that's not bad.
Well, I think the retail on it's $49.99 or something. I think it was on the. So yeah, you're probably going to get it a little bit cheaper, but it's still kind of pricey considering.
That is, yeah, definitely.
I'm really looking forward to your actual review of that, because I'm curious. Because I mean, I feel like that and Blair Witch are movies that shouldn't really be remastered that much. Like the graininess, the grittiness makes it.
And it's already the second 4K that I have of this movie.
Yeah, I have the Turbine one, and that's why I'm kind of looking at getting the other new 4K, the one with like the slip cover with the original artwork underneath it, because that is $32.99 on Amazon right now with Sally's eye on the cover.
Yeah, that's one I pre-ordered.
That one's on Amazon for $32.
The second Sight one is coming up here in a few weeks as well.
How much is that one?
Depends if you get
that's
the
probably going to be
or not.
45 or 50.
There's two different versions. There's the big box that has the book and everything and the poster and everything in it. And then they have the standard one too, which to me, I mean, if it was my choice, I would just get the standard one because I don't have room for some of these big box sets. But I think it may be the same exact transfer on both of the Dark Sky and the second Sight.
Yeah, that Steelbook is $39.99 on Amazon right now.
And it's funny. I literally go back to the page now, and it says on my end, it's like, oh, now you can get it by the 28th. So now I'm canceling my second order, and I'm going to be placing this so I can get it on the 20th. Like, what is happening? Like, can this thing just stay in one spot, please? Thank you.
But
yeah.
I may check the chainsaw out. Like I try to review stuff like the day before or 2 days before.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm just curious if it looks any better than the Turbine release, which I thought looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm. You got to check out that new documentary on there too, because I think isn't there a William Friedkin interview or documentary on there? It's like an interview with Toby Hooper and William Friedkin.
Yes.
Or is it Gunnar Hansen?
It's the Cine Family presents Friedkin Hooper conversation
Oh
about
man, yes.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre with William Friedkin and Toby Hooper.
See, I have to. I got to get it just for that. To be honest with you.
And they have a couple of different documentaries on there. A lot of the features that were already on previous releases, and that new feature-length documentary, Legacy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I'm already sold on it. Just because I'm a sucker for steelbooks too, and obviously it's Texas Chainsaw, so come on, got to get it. So
for sure. But guys, I appreciate all y'all coming out. We're going to try to continue to do the monthly if we can. We're kind of have a short month this month, so and a lot of stuff planned. I know you guys are doing X-Files. You said tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What is it? Last couple of seasons, is it? Is what you're working on?
Right now we're on seasons 7 and 8. After that, we'll be doing the second movie and then season 9, and then the last episode of it will be seasons 10 and 11.
Cool. I didn't know they had that many damn seasons.
Yeah. And I just noticed today, like, it's the 30-year anniversary. Like, it's came out in 93 or started in 93, I should say. And then, 2023. So, yeah.
Good time to do the shows, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And we are doing a special MWO podcast. I know Rob and Kelly are going to be joining me. We're going to be talking about Alice. Sweet Alice, which I recently rewatched for the first time in a few years. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good movie. And I'm looking forward to talking about it because I don't think we ever reviewed that movie back in the day.
Did you get the Arrow one?
I actually watched it streaming. I don't own that movie either, which is weird. I think I had it on Laserdisc and I just never bought it on DVD.
The Arrow release is really, really good for that.
Yes, it is.
Real quick before you sign us off, my buddy actually got me the VHS of that recently, and it's in this plastic Hollywood video case. Like the VHS and everything is in this. You can take it out, but this is like a collector's edition VHS of that.
Wow!
And it has like this kind of funny, just like a random image on the back. But that's Anchor Bay.
I thought it was interesting. We were actually going to record this on the 14th until I think Wes was reminded by Sarah that it was Valentine's Day. But I thought it was interesting that when I was doing some research, I found that the director actually killed himself on Valentine's Day last year, which is pretty
for Alice, Sweet Alice. Yeah, dude, I forgot about that.
He was an elderly man too.
Yeah, 83, I think it was.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it's wild because we were kind of trying to figure out if he was sick and did that, but it doesn't look like he did because I think it was Fango had a open letter that his nephew is also a filmmaker and is actually, I guess, working on a remake of Alice, Sweet Alice.
He's been working on that for like 20 years.
Yeah. He wrote a letter and it really sounds like it wasn't a planned thing that the family knew about, so it sounds like it really was a suicide, not a.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Well, one last thing I'll say about a recent death. I actually watched this. I remember because it was New Year's Day. I watched it, and I don't know why I watched it on New Year's Day. I was just looking for something to watch. I don't know what the streaming service I watched it, but I watched Fantastic Voyage, and of course Raquel Welch just passed away. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, Fantastic Voyage. That's probably my favorite movie she's in is Fantastic Voyage.
And there's been a lot of crazy deaths and stuff so far this year. I mean, it's been nuts. Like the whole Julian Sands thing. He was never found either, was he?
No. They're still looking for him.
There's no way he's alive though.
No, I mean
they actually just did like a like a conference, like on live, like on a live stream, it was not. The police even said, like, we're not hopeful. Like, it's not going to be the turnout that everybody wants, but we're going to continue the search anyway.
Yeah.
So,
And Bruce Willis has been diagnosed with dementia.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Because that's just he's gonna. I just think about how is he gonna go out? Like he's obviously, it's gonna keep progressing for sure. And so it's like he's not. Is he even gonna like know about like just thinking of somebody like that, forgetting about their career, not know not knowing who they are, that type of thing.
I mean, my grandpa had Alzheimer's, so some days he'll know exactly who he is, and some days he'll have no idea.
There's a medication for that, right? To like slow it or something. The Alzheimer's.
Well, the kind that Bruce Willis has, the dementia that he has.
There's no treatment for that.
It's not Alzheimer's.
Right. It's dementia. It's like frontal deteriorate. I don't know what the name of it is.
Temporal lobe damage or something.
I wish you did one more Die
that
Hard.
some things work and some things don't. His wife had actually posted a video, and he's playing the harmonica, and he's actually playing a song, and he's but then there's things that he doesn't know, things that he's.
Well, there's
that actually seems common. Like I saw a video of a really old guy in an old folks home that had Alzheimer's and suffered dementia, but he used to be in a jazz band back in the 40s or something, and they put like I don't remember, it was a alto saxophone or something. They gave it to him, and he just started playing the music.
Yeah, I think there's a documentary on Glenn Campbell, who's a killer guitar player from back in the day too. And the same way, I mean, he could go through. He remembered every little intricate part of like a guitar solo, but he couldn't remember where he lived. Right? He didn't know his address or just regular day-to-day stuff. I guess it's a different part of the brain it affects or something. I don't know. But guys, it's been fun talking with everybody on here. We're also doing that big Sean Clark show on Monday night. Hopefully Uncle Bill's internet will be back on by then, because it's a tell-all. We're going to hear the entire history and exactly what Sean Clark thought about the podcast and being called the cunt 87 times.
I guarantee yourself that there'll be a rebuttal to this rebuttal.
It's going to be hilarious.
That's a cunt. That's a cunt right there.
Hey, CK, you're bigger than that, man. You're bigger than that.
You and I are bigger than that.
Yeah. We're blood. I want to see some tater tots.
Yeah.
Just the way he was like filming her in that room was so bad. It was like it was so wrong.
Doesn't he look like Pat McAfee or something?
He reminds me of Jake Busey.
He does. Yeah, he's got a little bit of both.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in and everything. Like the video, share it, do whatever you guys do. And we will catch you guys next time over at Dead Pit.
Let's all say it together.
Give us a thumbs up.
Up your butts.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
Hey everyone, it's Oak Early Jaws. We got some great shirts for you. We got Faces of Death Part 2. We got Creepy Stories to Tell in Kentucky. The Colonel Would Approve. We also got DeadPit.com. We got Dead Pit Radio with the little fucking Dead Pit dude on there. We got It Never Ends, a Halloween spoof parody of the new movie. We got It at Night. We got the Rat Pack, Uncle Rat himself. It just gets better and better, so go on and get you some shirts over at Team Public. It just gets better and better, boss.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.